Happy morning, happy afternoon, and happy evening to all my Nanbas and Nanbis. Today we're going to see SM Marathon. Before we get into the marathon, what can you expect from this marathon? Let me quickly tell you. So this is basically a part of our WOW classes only. The WOW classes is split into three, guys. The first one is a concept revision which we'll be doing, and a quick revision of that concept revision we will be doing for 5 to 10 minutes for each of the chapters, and we do the workout questions. Here in this marathon, you get the full access to the workout questions where I have solved close to 100 questions only for SM. Now, what are these questions? This is nothing but your 8 model test papers and previous exam questions and RTP and mock test papers, which is for new syllabus, guys. Now, coming to the quick wow note revision, why is this important? Let me tell you. For each of the chapters in 10 minutes approximately. For chapter 5, we all know it is a big chapter. For that 15 minutes approximately, I have used something like this in my own handwriting where we have written like this. So it is handwritten notes for each of the chapter, probably 1 or 2 pages. I'm just showing it to you here. Like that, we have done the WOW notes revision also. So for every chapter, we're going to start off with the quick revision of the chapter, and then we'll be doing the workout question. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me. I'm also giving my number here. Please get in touch with me. So yes, let's get into the video, guys. Now let's resume with chapter number 5 summary notes. Please see here. We started off with SM process. Yes, that was the first one. There are totally 6. What happened? Now is it okay? Can we start? What are the 6 subtopics we saw under strategy, implementation and evaluation? First one. 6 subtopics are there under chapter number 5. Yes or no? The first mind mapping that we did. Do you remember anything? Yes? What is the first one? SM process. Second, strategic change through digital transformation. Third, organizational framework. Fourth, strategic leadership. Fifth, strategic controls. And the last one is strategic performance measure. Now here under SM process, we saw what are the stages in SM process. The first one is vision, mission, objectives, environmental and organizational analysis. If you remember, environmental screening, organizational analysis. Formulating a strategy. There are 2 steps process for formulating a strategy. Implementation of the strategy, strategic evaluation and control. This is stages in SM process. The next we went to strategy formulation. Under corporate strategy, we saw what is strategy planning and what is operational planning. What example did we see for what is strategy planning and what is operational planning? The example we saw in class was Zomato's example, like how Zomato is expanding into other businesses like district and all that is strategy planning, and giving the coupon code in the same Zomato app, that is operational planning. Now what is strategic planning, operational planning? What are the characteristics? This strategic planning shapes the organization and resources, assess the impact of environment. This is a holistic view. It develops overall objectives. This is a long-term success, and it is a responsibility of the senior management. If you see operational planning on the other hand, it helps for current deployment of resources. It is more of tactics, not strategy. It projects the current, whatever is happening, into the future, any modification to business functions, and responsibility of the functional manager. Now when Zomato is doing like this, what is Swiggy doing on the other side? They are doing all in one in the same app, that is called as strategic uncertainty. Uncertainty means anything can change. There can be a political change, there can be an environmental change, because the company, when it's operating, everything is dynamic in the external environment. So if there is a strategic uncertainty, how is the company going to deal with it? Now this is going to talk about unpredictability of the future events, change in market, change in tech, change in competition, change in regulatory requirements, and change in any other external factors. If it is like that, you will have to see whether it is flexible, how well the company has diversified, monitoring and scenario planning, building resilience, and what kind of collaborations that this company has done. The next we went to strategy implementation, that is the linkage between formulation and implementation. If both formulation and implementation is good, then we will say that it is like CSK, it will thrive. You saw how last match super it was, but tears came. That level, it was so good. இவரையா இப்படி தப்பா பேசுனீங்க, like that it was. Both bad formulation and bad implementation means nobody can save them. Die quickly, you should tell. SRH and all example for you to remember. The next, good formulation is there, but bad implementation, then they will somehow survive. Sala cup namde, something he will tell, correct? Sala cup namde, that is RCB. That means they will definitely survive because formulation is always good. Implementation, somewhere it will not be good. Next, if formulation is bad, implementation somehow they are coming now, then it is called die slowly. Example, SRH for this only. Next, difference between formulation and implementation. Formulation is what? Planning and decision making. Implementation is executing the plan. Force is before the action. This is managing force during the action. This is the action in itself, implementation. This is an entrepreneurial activity. This is an administrative activity. This focus on effectiveness. This focus on efficiency. Intellectual and rational process, on the other hand, it is operational process. Coordination among very few individuals at the top level. Here middle and lower level people. Many people will be there. Logical skills, analytical skills, motivation and leadership traits. What is first? Formulation is first, implementation is following. But there is also linkage between them. There is a forward linkage and a backward linkage. What are they going to talk in that forward and backward linkage? Forward linkage is basically from the strategy formulation, implementation is coming to that. What is backward linkage? When you're doing the strategy formulation, you will still see your past mistakes. If you remember, I spoke about your... What example did I give? In your preparation, when you are planning now, you will think about all the mistakes that you did in the previous attempt. So, past implementation also will affect your formulation. That is a backward linkage. Forward linkage is from the formulation only, implementation will happen. This is linkages. What is issues in strategy implementation? The strategy itself is not action, it is only a statement of intent. Formulation of different kinds of programs, and programs leads to formulation of projects. What is the sequential manner and issues in strategy implementation? Project implementation, procedural implementation, resource allocation, strategy implementation, functional implementation and behavioral implementation. Example we saw for this. Goa trip, you are not able to go. Why? Because WhatsApp group is there, intent is there, but implementation is not there because money is not there, resource is not there, one person is not cooperating, behavioral problems, behavioral implementation is there, structural implementation, functional implementation, procedural, project implementation, all of these are sequential manner of issues in strategy implementation. Next, strategic change through digital transformation. Now here what did we see? The first one is steps to initiate. First they have to recognize a need, like how our grandparents, this example if you remember, they also needs to recognize that they have to learn about technology. Steps to initiate, recognize a need for the change. Shared vision must be there with the employee. Institutionalize a change. In Kurt Levin's model of change, only 3 points: unfreeze, change and refreeze. Under change there are again 3 points: complaints, identification and internalization. How does digital transformation work? Transformation sonale, what transformation are we talking about? Six pack. I want to reduce 5 kgs. That is a transformation. Define the goal and objective. Assess the current state. Here it's six pack, here it's family pack. Roadmap for the change. Put what are the things that you will have to do: diet, exercise, 2 hours. Implementation for the change. After putting the plan, you also have to implement it. How does change management work? First you have to have a clear vision. You have to involve the stakeholders also. Otherwise you will be on diet means other people will be eating the chips in front of you, so you can't follow that. So involve the stakeholders also, plan for action, and then definitely you will see the results. Change management helps organizations to do what? To achieve the goals, for procedural tools, for planning, staffing and tracking the progress. These 5 points are there. Best practices for managing change in MSME. Multiple times we told this in class. Begin at the top. Change is both necessary and desired. Reduce disruption. Encourage communication. Change is only the norm and not an exception. Manage change through digital transformation. For this, what example did we see? Boyfriend, girlfriend is there, fight is there. If you go and tell them directly, they will not change. Follow the steps. First, you specify the objectives. Always, always, always communicate. But once you communicate, they are going to be resistant to change, ready for resistance. Then you'll have to implement the changes gradually. Also, offer assistance and training. Second part also done. What is the third one? Organizational framework. Under this, McKinsey's 7S model we saw. Under that, what and what elements are there? Hard elements and soft elements are there. Everything starts with S, strategy, system, structure, shared value, staff and skill. What are the limitations? I told you the 7S model is a waste model. Yes or no? Simply SS, he put something. So there are so many limitations. It does not count the external environment. There is no clear explanation for each of the models. It is more static, less flexible. It is missing real gaps in the environment. Organizational structure. What is this Chandler's strategy? This Chandler's strategy is like whom? Is it like Chandler from Friends? It is like S.J. Surya. However, what S.J. Surya will say? Vanda sutta setta repeat. Vanda sutta setta repeat. Same way, new strategy formed. Admin problem emerged. Organizational performance is declining. New organizational structure is getting established. Organizational performance improves. Again, new strategy formed. Then, problem is emerging. Organizational performance declining. Again, new organizational structure established. Organizational performance improves. Like that, it keeps going on. Like S.J. Surya, this strategy is called Chandler's strategy. Types of organizational structure. Where did we see that? Different types of structures are there. The first one, simple structure, where there is one owner and many people to execute. Example, tea stall and content creators, TikTok stars. Second is functional structure, where there will be one CEO, under him multiple functions, and under him also multiple functions. So there are two levels here. The division, if you see, there will be one CEO and under him there will be multiple functions. Then under that there will be multiple divisions, and each of the divisions there will be again functions. So each division is going to have a divisional manager here. What example did we see for this? ICA, how they are having SIRC, NIRC, CARC, all that is different divisions, where each of the divisions is going to have multiple functions under them. So these divisions can be based on geographical area, it can be based on product or service, it can be based on customers, it can be based on process. What kind of customers and all, how can you keep as division? Say I am a publication company, I am printing books for colleges, schools, and for CA also, then those will be three different divisions. So customer base is also, I can have multiple divisions. The next is multi-divisional structure, where it's the same as above, where each division is identified as a separate business unit. This multi-divisional structure is also called as M-form structure, because there is a M which is being formed. What is the next one? SBU structure. This is the most important one, prevalent in these days, where instead of a CEO we saw that there is a president, and under him there will be multiple functions, and under that there will be multiple strategic business units. Strategic business units are units having their own cost center, their own profit center, they will have their own competition, they will act like a separate business by themselves. Under each of the SBUs there can be multiple divisions. Example we saw for this is Tata. Say for example SBU2 is all the cars. That is a separate business in itself. Under that there is luxury cars, under that there is affordable cars also. Under SBU4, if you see textile, then under that there is West Side, under that there is Zudio division also. So this is the SBU structure. What is matrix structure? Nowadays everybody is using only matrix structure. Yes, because cross-fertilization can happen. Everything is interlinked with everybody, where there is going to be a CEO. Under him, there will be production, sales, finance, R&D. Again, production, sales, finance, R&D. Again, production, sales, finance, R&D. If you see the production department as a whole, there is going to be a functional superior. All of these are called functions. So, for each of the functions, there is going to be a superior. And if you see like this, there is going to be a production manager. So everything is interlinked. How are they saying that cross fertilization happened? Say for example here number of people are less, he can take from this production unit also. It's not only this way. Till the previous one we only saw like this. Next one is network structure, where lots will be outsourced. Example for that we saw is Mind and Company and also Nike. So most of the functions will be outsourced here so that they can focus on the design, marketing, brand. They can focus on their core. They don't have to focus on HR. They don't have to focus on admin and other things. What is hourglass structure? Hourglass structure is, it is like this. Top management there are multiple people, lower management there are multiple people, in the middle there are very very less, there is a narrow at the middle. Example for this, Spotify, I told you this is an example. What is the biggest limitation? People at the lower level, they will not be motivated because promotions will be very very less. This is hourglass structure. After this, what did we see? About organizational culture, whether it is an ally or obstacle to strategy execution. If it is compatible, then it is a ally. If it is a conflict, then it becomes a obstacle to strategy execution. Role of culture, perils of strategy culture conflict, creating a strong fit and change in problem culture. The next we have to see the fourth one, which is strategy leadership. Who is the best leader? Dhoni, MS Dhoni. So roles. What are the roles of strategy leadership? Stay on top of whatever is happening. Esprit de corps, that means team spirit must be high. He should be responsive to all the changes. He should be ethical, and collective action must be taken. Interrelationship of elements, we saw one round here where a leader has to know a little bit about each and everything. What are the responsibilities of a good leader? There are 7 points here. Make strategic decisions, policies and action plan. Communication must be good. Human capital, he has to manage all the change. He has to maintain the culture and increase the performance also. The next is approach in strategy leadership. There are two approaches, transformational and transactional. What is the difference between the two? If I am going to encourage you, inspire you, that is called as transformational. If I'm going to say I will give you a chocolate, you do your homework and come, that is called as transactional, give and take policy. So here also we saw the difference in table for transformational and transactional. Next is strategy control. What example here we saw? For control, who can control us in our lives? Parents will control us in our life. So what are the elements of strategy control? Parents, even though they are controlling, the objective is for us to be safe only. So the first one is objective. How are they going to monitor? How are they going to measure? Comparing deviations and getting new insights, feedback and corrective actions. What are the 3 types of strategy control? Operational control into the minute details, management control overall level. Next is strategy control, where they will see whether it has been properly implemented and whether the results have come. With that they will stop. Types of strategy control, there are 4 types. Premise control, strategy surveillance control, special alert control and implementation control. Under implementation control we have monitoring, strategic thrust and milestone review. With this, chapter number 5, strategic performance measure is there. Okay, where is that? Strategic performance measures. What are the types of strategic performance measure? Financial measures, customer satisfaction measure, market measure, employee measure, innovation measure, environmental measures. Please remember what we saw inside also. Under employee measure we saw employee turnover ratio. Financial measures we saw what is the return on investment. Like that, for each of this, under them there are points. Importance of strategic performance measure. You have to align with the goals. Resources must be allocated properly. Continuous improvement must be there, and there will be some kind of an external accountability because you will be telling the stakeholders, shareholders and all. Choosing the right performance measure. How will you get how will you choose what measure you will have to choose? What? 3 data and 1 relevance. If you remember, I told you relevance, data availability, data quality and data timeliness. Next is, that's it. With this, chapter number 5 in just 19 minutes comes to an end. Start from question number 19.
How the strategic business unit structure becomes imperative in an organization with increase in number, size and diversity of divisions.
how the SBU structure becomes important in organization with increase in the number, increase in size, and increase in the diversity of divisions. When we saw itself, I told you SBU is the most important one. Please read this carefully. SBU is a part of large business organization that is treated separately for strategic management purpose. Concept of SBU is helpful in creating an SBU organizational structure. It is a separate part of a large business serving product markets with readily identifiable competitors. It is created by adding another level of management in a divisional structure. We saw what was divisional structure, and we added another level called SBU. Under SBUs there are going to be multiple divisions or single division also, being grouped under a divisional top management authority based on common strategic interest. Very large organizations, particularly those running into several products or operating at distant geographical locations that are extremely diverse in terms of environmental factors, can be better managed by creating strategic business units. SBU structure becomes imperative in an organization with increase in number, increase in size, and increase in diversity. It helps the organization by, now only coming to the main point, establishing coordination between divisions, facilitate strategic management and strategic control, determine accountability at the level of distinct business units, allow strategic planning to be done at the most relevant level with the total enterprise, make the task of strategic review by top executives more objective and more effective, helps to allocate the resources to areas with better opportunities. How many points did we see here? Establish coordination, facilitate strategic management and control, determine accountability, allow for strategic planning, make the task of strategic review, helps to allocate the resources. These 6 points is what they are actually asking. How the SBU structure becomes imperative with increase in number, increase in size, and increase in diversity of divisions. Is that clear? Going on to the next one.
Jupiter Electronics Limited is known for its ability to come out with path-breaking products. Though the work environment at Jupiter's is relaxed and casual, there is a very strong commitment to deadlines. The employees believe in a work hard, play hard ethic. The organization has moved away from formal and hierarchical setup to a more results-driven approach. Employees are committed to strategies and work towards achieving them. They guard innovations, maintain confidentiality and secrecy in their work. They are closely related to values, practices, and norms of organizations. What aspects of an organization being discussed? Explain.
What aspect is being discussed here? What are they actually saying? They are going from one kind to another kind where they are going to work hard, play hard, ethic. The organization has moved from formal and hierarchical, that is, you are above, I am below, I have to do the work, you have to review the work. From that, they are moving to more results driven approach. Employees are committed to strategies and work towards achieving them. They guard innovations, maintain confidentiality and secrecy in their work. They are closely related to values, practices and norms of organization. What aspects are discussed here? Now in chapter number 5, first, which subpart does this come under? It is culture. Culture is correct. Subpart is organizational framework, where they are talking about values, they are talking about practices, they are talking about norms of the organization. They have shifted from one culture to another culture, that is formal and hierarchical set, to a most result driven approach. The scenario being referred to is culture in Jupiter Electronics. Where did we see culture in chapter number 5? Under organizational framework, the last part, if you remember, whether it is an ally or an obstacle, we saw what is organizational culture. Now see, strong culture promotes good strategy execution when there is a fit, and impulse execution when there is negligible fit. A culture grounded in values, practices and behavioral norms that match what is needed for good strategy execution helps energize people throughout the organization to do their jobs in a strategy supportive manner. A culture built around such business principles as listening to customers, encouraging employees to take pride in their work, giving employees a high degree of decision, making responsibility. This is very conducive to successful execution of strategy of delivering superior customer service. A strong strategy supportive culture makes employees feel genuinely better about their jobs and work environment and the merits of what the company is trying to accomplish. Employees are stimulated to take on the challenge of realizing the organizational vision, do their jobs competently and with enthusiasm, and collaborate with others. Basically, that entire culture paragraph is given here, but you have to understand what he is asking. So just make note somewhere whenever they're talking about values, practices, norm, or they're talking about a change in the way that they are operating, that means they are talking about culture in the question. Is that clear? Next one, Greenedge.
Greenedge Solutions, a mid-sized technology company, has implemented a new strategic plan focused on achieving sustainable growth and strengthening its market presence. The leadership team is determined to monitor the effectiveness of their strategies to ensure they align with the organization's overall goals and objectives. They seek a systematic approach to assess key performance areas critical to their success. What are strategic performance measures and how can Greenedge Solutions effectively use them to evaluate and enhance the success of their strategic plan?
Direct question. They have asked what are strategic performance measures and how can they effectively use them to evaluate and enhance. So what are strategic performance measure? What will you write here? You will be talking about the different kinds of types of measures. What are the types of measures we saw? Financial measure, customer satisfaction measure, market measure, employee measure, innovation measure, and environmental measure. These 6 you will have to write. But see how they are starting. Strategic performance measures are metrics organizations use to evaluate and track the effectiveness of their strategies in achieving their goals and objectives. Like this, first you will have to write what is strategic performance measures. SPM provides a framework for monitoring key areas critical to organizational structure, ensuring progress towards desired outcome and enabling timely adjustments to improve the performance. Here various types of SPMs. Under financial measures, examples you will have to write how much revenue has grown, what is ROI, profit margin, customer satisfaction measure, what is the retention, how loyal are they, assessment of customer satisfaction, market measures, how will you see? Market share, customer acquisition, referral rates, employee measure, how will you see? Turnover rate, employee satisfaction, employee engagement, innovation measures, how much are they spending for research and development, patent filing, new product launches, environmental measures, how will you see? Energy consumption, waste reduction, and carbon emission. Easy, direct question, direct answer. Describe the
principal aspects of strategy execution process which are included in most situations.
Strategy execution process. They are asking how will you implement the strategy. The first one, you need to have the money. Develop budgets that steer ample resources into those activities that are critical to strategic success. Next, you need the people. Staffing the organization with needed skills and expertise, consciously building and strengthening strategy supportive competencies and competitive capabilities and organizing the work effort. Ensuring that policies and operating procedures facilitate rather than impede. Using the best known practices to perform core business activities. Installing information and operating system. Motivating the people to pursue targets energetically. Creating a culture and climate conducive to successful strategy implementation. Exerting the internal leadership. How many points are here? Principal aspects of strategy execution process. Keeler. First one is budgets. Second is staffing. There is also one more point about staffing, motivating the people. Fourth is policies and procedures facilitate rather than impede, using the best known practices, installation of information and operating system. 7 is creating a culture and 8 is internal leadership. The question for this is principal aspects of strategy execution process. I hope you have written it down somewhere. Yes, please write it down. The next question.
Orion Tech Solutions Private Limited is renowned for its ability to launch groundbreaking software products. Despite the relaxed and casual work environment at Orion, there is a strong commitment to meeting deadlines. Employees at Orion believe in the work or play ethic. The company has
Same question again. Very important then. MTP September 24 it is there. And MTP Jan 25 is there, still not tested. Twice it has come in MTP. Please make note, very, very important. Many people won't even understand. If they don't see this question, very difficult to place this question that it is from culture. Work hard, play hard ethic. It is closely aligned with values, practices, norm. What aspect of the organization is being discussed? You have to start off by saying the scenario being referred to is culture. A strong culture encourages effective strategy execution when there is alignment and drives the performance even when there is minimal alignment. A culture rooted in values, practices and behavioral norms that align with requirement of successful strategy execution energizes the employees across the organization. Built around principles such as listening to consumers, encouraging employees to take pride in the work and providing a high degree of decision making autonomy. All these points you will have to write. Please make note this one also. Strategic
alliances are
alliances.
formed if they provide an advantage to all the parties in the alliance. Do you agree? Explain in brief the advantages of strategic alliance.
What are they asking? Advantages of strategic alliance. Where did we see strategic alliance? In chapter number 4 is when we saw this. Is a surprise question. Suddenly you can't think only chapter 5 questions will come in exam. You should understand entire SM, yes or no. So strategic alliance, what are the advantages? So first of all, you tell me what is the meaning of strategic alliance. Two companies will work together but they will still be independent of each other. Example? Relationship you told. L&T and Metro, yes, very good. Uber and Spotify is an example we discussed in class. So what are the advantages for strategic alliance? Relevance, data availability, data quality and data timeliness. Data SPM, no? Then what is this? Advantages of organizational, economic, political, strategic. For this only we saw, if they are moving to different country, you can have an alliance with them. If they are strong in the political scenario, then it will be helpful. Strategically also they can work together. That is, competitors, instead of competing, they can work together. Economic, they can save the cost. And organization, two organizations coming together. We saw these four as advantages of strategic alliance. Waste question. Next, short note on
Matrix structure.
I think this is the question that they asked in the previous exam. Yes, short note on matrix structure. This is also asked in MTP September 24. Now in matrix structure, it's okay, just because they ask, let's not leave it. Again they might ask in MCQ. In matrix structure, functional and product forms are combined simultaneously at the same level of the organization. Employees have two superiors, a product or a project manager and also a functional manager. Do you remember? For R&D as a whole, for each of the functions there is going to be a functional superior, and like this also there is going to be one product manager. So there is going to be two superiors. The home department, that is engineering, manufacturing or marketing, is usually functional and is reasonably permanent. People from these functional units are often assigned temporarily to one or more product units or projects. Product unit or projects are usually temporary and act like divisions in that they are differentiated on a product market basis. The matrix structure may be very appropriate when organizations conclude that neither functional nor divisional forms, even when combined with horizontal linking mechanism like SBUs, are right for their implementation of the strategy. Matrix structure was developed to combine the stability of the functional structure with flexibility of the product form. It is very useful when external environment, especially technological and market aspects, is complex and changeable. A matrix structure is most complex of all designs because depends vertical and horizontal flows of communication. It is often found in an organization when the following three conditions exist. First one is ideas needs to be cross-fertilized. Second, resources are scarce. Abilities to process information and to make decisions need to be improved. These three conditions must be there in matrix structure. The next one, define
Strategic performance measures. Explain various types of strategic performance measure.
direct question, types of strategic performance measure multiple times. Please mark somewhere as important. They already asked. In September they asked. SPM they have asked already. So financial measure, customer satisfaction measure, market measure, employee measure, innovation measure, environmental measure, all these things you will have to write. Explain the concept of
forward and backward linkages between strategy formulation and implementation in strategic management using relevant examples. How do these linkages impact the overall strategic decision making process of an organization?
They're talking about linkage between strategy formulation and strategy implementation. Forward and backward linkage is there. Forward linkage is because from the formulation only implementation happens. Backward linkage is because formulation is formed based on past implementation. Now read the text. Forward linkage refers to impact of strategy formulation on the strategy implementation. When the organization formulates a new strategy, it sets the direction for organization's future action. For example, if company decides to expand the product line to target a new market, the decision will require changes in organization structure, resource allocation and leadership style. These changes are necessary to align the operations with new direction. Thus, formulation of strategy has forward linkage with implementation. What is the backward linkage? Backward linkage, on the other hand, refers to the impact of the implementation on strategy formulation. As an organization implements its strategy, it gains valuable insights and the feedback from the implementation process. You all got valuable insights and you all got valuable feedback from the last attempt. Based on that implementation, you will be formulating the strategy for the current attempt. This feedback can influence the future strategic decisions. For example, if a company faces unexpected challenges, discovers new opportunities during the implementation of a strategy, it may need to re-evaluate its strategic choices. I told you last attempt girlfriend would have called. Last attempt movie would have released. You would have gone for all of those things. So this time what will you say? You will block the number and keep it. Put it as red list. Just 30 days. Like that you will tell yourself. So you are making the strategic choices appropriately. Similarly, past strategic action and their outcome can also influence formulation of future strategies. Over time, these incremental changes in strategy and implementation take the organization from its current state to where it aims to be, reflecting dynamic nature of strategic management. In conclusion, forward and backward linkages between formulation and implementation highlights the iterative and interconnected nature of strategic management. By understanding and leveraging these linkages, organizations can enhance their strategic decision-making process and improve their overall performance. What is question number 10?
A Mumbai-based conglomerate PQR Limited has announced a major restructuring of its business operations. The company has decided to split its business into 4 separate units: manufacturing, retail, services and technology. Each unit will operate as a separate business with delegated responsibility for day-to-day operations and strategy to the respective unit managers. Identify the organization structure that PQR Limited has planned to implement. Discuss any 4 attributes and the benefits the firm may derive by using this organization structure.
Multiple questions they have asked here, and this also almost a direct question only because they have used a terminology called separate business. So automatically it is SBU, strategic business unit. But what are the questions that they have asked? Identify the organization structure, we've already identified. Discuss 4 attributes and benefits the firm may receive. What are the attributes for SBU? This is a scientific method. Improvement over the territorial grouping of business and strategic planning based on territorial units. Strategic planning for SBU is distinct from the rest of the businesses. Products or businesses within an SBU receive same strategic planning treatment and priorities. Each SBU will have its own distinct set of competitors and its own distinct strategy. strategy. The CEO of SBU will be responsible for strategic planning for SBU and its profit performance. Products or businesses that are related from the standpoint of function are assembled together. For example, textile, Zudio and Westside are related. So what we did, we assembled together and we put it in a same SBU, and under that they'll come under different divisions. Unrelated products or business in any group are separated into separate SBUs. Grouping the business on SBU lines helps in strategic planning by removing the vagueness and confusion. Each SBU is a separate business and it will be distinct from one another on the basis of mission, objectives, etc. That means they operate as a separate company in itself. Question number 9.
Leatherite Limited was started as a leather company to manufacture footwear. Currently, they are in the manufacturing of footwear for males and females. The top management desires to expand the business in leather manufacturing goods. To expand, they decided to purchase more machines to manufacture leather bags for males and females. Identify and explain the strategy opted by the top management of Leatherite Limited.
Again, this is not chapter number 5, but what are they saying? They had leather what? Initially they had leather shoes. Now they are expanding to leather bags. Now what kind of expansion is this? Is this a conglomerate? Conglomerate means it has to be unrelated. But here they might use the same process. They might use the same technology. So what is this called? Concentric diversification is what they are doing. Leatherite Limited is currently manufacturing footwear for males and females, and its top management has decided to expand its business by manufacturing bags also. Both the products are similar in nature and within the same industry, leather industry only. Strategic diversification, the company has opted is concentric in nature. They were in business manufacturing leather footwear and now they will manufacture bags also. They will be able to use existing infrastructure and existing distribution channels. Concentric diversification amounts to related diversification. In concentric diversification, the new business is linked to the existing business through process, through technology, or through a marketing process. The new product is a spin-off from the existing facility. Will they have a separate facility for this? Not required. One facility in the corner they can start off a bag also. And product or process. This means that in concentric diversification too, there are benefits of synergy with the current operations. Question number 9. Mark this also as important. Green Edge Solutions.
Same question.
What same question?
Green Edge Solutions, strategic performance measures.
Same question, strategic performance measure, financial measure, customer satisfaction measure, same thing again and again. They have given so many clues before they actually asked in the exam. Yes or no? It's like that you should see if there are any multiple questions which you are seeing which is still not asked in the exam. That culture we saw twice they asked. Distinguish between strategic planning and SBU also multiple times they have asked. And last attempt they asked matrix. So this attempt there's lots of chances that they will ask SBU. Distinguish between strategic planning and operational planning. What is strategic planning? Where did we see this first of all? 5th chapter. Under that what subtopic? Zomato, how they are doing the plan and how they are implementing in the operational level by giving coupons. Yes, under the first one, SM process. Strategic planning shapes the organization and its resources. It assesses the impact of environmental variables. It takes the holistic view. It develops overall objectives and strategy. It is concerned with long-term success of the organization. It is a senior management responsibility. Here, functional manager's responsibility, short-term success, not fundamental changes. It projects the current operations into the future. Operational planning develops tactics rather than strategy. Deals with current deployment of resources. The same thing we also saw in the WOW notes also. EcoPure.
EcoPure Limited, a sustainable packaging manufacturer, faces challenges in goal alignment, resource allocation, and customer satisfaction. As a strategic consultant, analyze how strategic performance measures can address these issues. Propose a structured approach to implementation and explain how goal alignment, continuous improvement, and external accountability will drive long-term success and enhance stakeholder confidence.
Now, goal alignment, resource allocation, customer satisfaction, where did we see this? They have given the answer here actually. They're talking about strategic performance measures for sure. Under strategic performance measure, only 3 questions are possible. One is types of performance measure. Second is importance of performance measure. Third is choosing the right performance measure. Here, what are they talking? They've given the answer. Goal alignment, resource allocation, customer satisfaction. Where did we see this importance of strategic performance measure? But they've given only two: goal alignment, resource allocation. What are the other two? You will have to write. Goal allocation, goal alignment, resource allocation, continuous improvement, and external accountability. Those 4 points you will have to write. Goal alignment ensures that all departments work towards the same sustainability and customer satisfaction objective. By setting clear goals, company can ensure consistency in decision making and strategic execution. Resource allocation, it helps the company make informed investment decisions, prioritizing area like production efficiency, innovation, and supply chain improvements. Continuous improvement allow company to track key performance indicators such as delivery timeline, product quality, operational efficiency. External accountability, building trust with stakeholders, investors, customers, regulatory bodies, all these things. 4 points you will have to write here. They have given clue: goal allocation, goal alignment, resource allocation, and they have also explicitly told you this is SPM, strategic performance measure. So you will have to directly go to importance of SPM. The next one. Glowware
Glowware
Limited.
Limited, an apparel manufacturer, has been in the market for over a decade. Until 2023, it operated on the founding principles of its CEO, focusing on a limited regional market. With new growth opportunities arising, Glowware is now interested in developing new competencies in areas such as digital marketing, product innovation, sustainable materials, and financial management. Recognizing that changing one area may impact others, the company wants a comprehensive understanding of the interconnected elements that contribute to its operational effectiveness. As a strategist, you are tasked with creating a questionnaire to analyze both the hard and soft elements of the organization. This assessment will enable Glowware understand the factors that influence its effectiveness and to strategically align its structure, skills, and culture with its growth ambitions.
First they told some story and then they are coming where? To hard and soft elements. What model is that? McKinsey 7S model. They are asking you to frame the questions for these 7S. Hard elements. There are 3 hard elements: strategy, structure, systems. 4 soft elements: shared value, style, staff, and skills. And what are the limitations also they have given? What are the limitations? It does not focus on the external environment, undefined organizational effectiveness, it is more static, not flexible, and it does not capture the real gaps in the execution. Limitations also they're given, and not just to one word for the 7S. Inside also you will be expected to write strategy na organization's direction and competitive approach designed to leverage core competencies and achieve industry leadership. Structure, the chosen organizational setup shaped by resource availability and degree of centralization or decentralization desired by management. System, daily operations, process, and teams that execute objectives in an efficient and effective manner. Soft element means more of culture, intangible. Hard elements means directly which is managed by the company. They will say it is tangible but don't know how. Shared values, core beliefs that shape the culture and ethical code within the organization. Style, leadership style and its impact on decision making. Staff, talent pool and workforce capability. Skill, key competency of employees that contributes to organizational success. Easy, direct question. Model 7, soft and hard, they have used that word. Now, Ecotech, a company.
A company specializing in sustainable technology solutions is facing challenges due to shifts in environmental regulations and market preferences. To manage these uncertainties, they regularly review and update their business assumptions and strategic plans based on changing regulatory environments and consumer trends. This proactive approach helps them stay aligned with evolving market conditions and maintain a competitive edge. Explain which approach is Ecotech to adapt to changes in regulations and market conditions.
What are they doing here? They're talking about a company specializing in some technology solution. They're facing some kind of challenges due to shift in environmental regulations and shift in market preferences. To manage these uncertainties, they regularly review and update the business assumptions and strategic plan based on whatever is changing. This proactive approach helps them stay aligned with evolving market conditions and maintaining a competitive edge. Which approach is Ecotech taking to adapt to changes in regulations and market conditions? First of all, what subheading is this? Try to first figure that out. No, they are talking about controlling. They are talking about controlling. Yes or no? You are doing something. How are you managing? By regularly reviewing and updating business assumptions. And again they are using this word, change in regulations and market conditions. Now, types of strategic control. What are the 4 types we saw? Yeah, premise control, strategic surveillance control, special alert control, and implementation control. Here they are talking about premise control because they are talking about environment regularly reviewing, changes in the regulation, changes in the market condition. Ecotech is using premise control to adapt to changes in regulations and market conditions. You are not able to answer, correct? Write somewhere change in regulation, change in market condition. That means you will go to premise control. Premise control is a strategic management approach focused on continuously monitoring and reviewing the underlying assumptions that form the basis of an organization strategy. By regularly assessing these assumptions, such as environmental regulations and customer preferences, Ecotech ensures that its strategic plans remains relevant and responsive to the external changes. This proactive process helps the company make timely adjustments to its strategy, allowing it to stay competitive and aligned with the evolving market environment. Premise control means you are seeing the environment, you are seeing the industry, you are seeing the market. These 3 things I kept saying multiple times previously. Here what do they say? Change in regulation, change in the market conditions. So automatically you will go to premise control. If you were not able to map the answer, write it down somewhere. At least next time when you see the same question, you should know that this is premise control. What is the next question? Why SPM are essential for organization? Importance of SPM. Why is it? Goal alignment, resource allocation, continuous improvement, external accountability. SPM, multiple questions they have asked. This also they have asked. Leave it then. Next one, Mumbai-based Conglomerate.
PQR Limited has announced a major restructuring of its business operation. The company has decided to split
It
its
is done, correct? Manufacturing, retail, services and technology. Each unit will operate as a separate business. That means they are going to ask what is the organization structure. SBU is the organization structure. Discuss 4 attributes and benefits. Same question. What are the attributes? What are the benefits? You will have to write. Next, Y is?
change management crucial during digital transformation, and what are some key strategies for navigating change effectively?
Change management crucial during digital transformation. Now we are in the second subtopic. Change through digital transformation. Under that, what are they asking? What are some key strategies for navigating the change effectively? Now what are the questions? Always communicate is correct, but what are the other points? Now, under change through digital transformation, what are the questions which is possible? First is strategic change, steps to initiate. Second is how does digital transformation work? Third is best practices for MSME. And the fourth one is managing change through digital transformation. Now here what are they asking? Change management. So managing change through digital transformation. Now in that question we would have seen as managing change through digital transformation, correct? Under that in double quotes please write change management, so that when you see the keyword in the question automatically you'll know it's these 4 points. What are the 4 points? Specify the objectives. Second, always communicate, but if you communicate also be ready for resistance from the other side. Implement the changes gradually, and last point, offer assistance and training. 5 points are there. That's why I've written healthy relationship. You have to first specify the transformation's aim and objectives. Always communicate, be ready for resistance, implement the changes gradually, and offer assistance and training. Now, question number 1, York investors.
York investors recognizing the importance of aligning.
Same thing. No, but how will you know that they are asking? Now you saw the answer. How will you know that they are asking McKinsey 7? In the previous question, they mentioned soft elements, hard elements. Read the question.
York investors recognizing the importance of aligning its organizational elements with strategic objectives as strategically invested in training programs, technology, and communication systems. The company aims to enhance the skills and capabilities of its workforce through comprehensive training initiatives. Simultaneously, York Investors leverages cutting-edge technology to streamline its operations and improve overall efficiency. The investment in communication systems ensures seamless collaboration and information flow across various departments. Identify and explain the model used by York Investors to achieve
Model
its
is the
strategic goal.
keyword. 2 times they used, correct? Model, identify and explain the model used. Apna 7S model. Last one, you know the 7S model, but you need to understand that for this question you have to write the 7S model. That is the hard part. Yes or no? That's why I said read the question. So identify and explain the model which is used by York investors, because when you look at this, any company operates like this only. 7S model is a generic model in itself, but the only place in entire SM where they are using the terminology model is for McKinsey 7S model. So that is the key word here. Is that clear? With this, chapter number 5 is completed. Now coming to chapter number 4, strategic choices. Now under this, what are we going to see? We're going to see what is stability strategy. We're going to see what is growth or expansion strategy. Then we are going to see what is retrenchment strategy and how is combination. Then if nothing works, they are going to go for strategic exits. Under exits, we are going to see turnaround strategy, divestment and liquidation. Then strategic options, very, very important. 4 different options. Quickly, let's see the broad strategy. Now, when will any company go for stability strategy? It is pursued when similar market and similar product, most of the cases when they are in the maturity stage of the product life cycle, and this stability strategy is not a do nothing strategy. Now current business and product market maintains existing level of effort and satisfied with incremental growth. Here also there is going to be an incremental growth, that just that they are not pushing it very hard. What are the characteristics? Same business, same product, same market, same effort. It enhances the functional efficiency in an incremental way. It is not a redefinition of business. This is a safe strategy. It does not warrant fresh investments. Risk here is very low. You focus on building the core competency because you are focusing on existing resources. Modest growth objectives. Reasons: when they are at the maturity stage of product life cycle, when they are comfortable with the status already, low change, low risk. Environment, when it is stable, when you just want to stabilize whatever is happening and you want to consolidate all the resources, and it is not advisable to expand because it is perceived as threatening for somebody else. So this is stability strategy. The next is growth or expansion strategy, the opposite of that. There we saw it is not a redefinition of business. Here it is a redefinition of business. There we saw no fresh investments. Here there are fresh investments. Opportunities for stability strategy where rewards are very high, highly versatile strategy. There are 2 routes which you can go for: intensification and diversification. What are the reasons for stability strategy? When the environment demands increase in pace, there is pride and satisfaction. There is pride for top level management if they are working only in growth strategy or expansion strategy. More control over market versus the competitors. Advantage from experience curve and scale of operations. What are the 2 types of growth strategy? Intensification and internal and external. Under internal there is intensification and diversification. Under external there is mergers and acquisition and strategic alliance. What is intensification? Under that there are 3 points: market penetration, product development, market development. Here itself I have written the example which we discussed in class because you will forget. Market penetration means Starbucks loyalty program, because the same market, same product, they are just penetrating the market. Product development means iPhone, from how iPhone 1 to 16, it has developed the same product for the same market, but product has been developing from iPhone 1 to 16. The next is market development, where they are moving to a different market. Audi in China, how they changed the product, the way the product looked, because they are moving to a different market. Menu localization for McD, KFC, all this we already discussed in our concept revision class. The next, what is diversification? Concentric diversification, conglomerate diversification, and innovation. Concentric diversification, it can either be vertical or horizontal. This vertical can be forward or backward. Example for forward and backward, do you remember? Coffee bean manufacturer having a cafe, that is a forward merger. Paramudur Chole going for farming practices, that is backward merger, because he's going behind in the value chain. He's moving away from the customer or towards the customer, is going to decide whether it is forward or backward merger. What is conglomerate diversification? Completely unrelated to the existing business. Example, Tata Steel is also there, Tata Consultancy Services is also there. Innovation. We saw that video also in class, Tesla self-drive video. It solves complex problem, high productivity, and it has the competitive advantage. Now under external, we saw what is mergers and acquisition and strategic alliance. Under mergers and acquisition, we again have horizontal merger, vertical merger, co-generic merger, and conglomerate merger. What is horizontal merger? Lipton India and Brook Bond, both were competitors. They came together and they formed a new company, that is horizontal merger. Vertical merger, same forward and backward is there. Co-generic merger. Co-generic merger means similar products, related products or related process, they can have the merger. White goods, I already explained what is white goods. Fridge, washing machine, all of this is called white goods because initially it was only white in color. Now a person who is doing white goods, it is easier for him to get into kitchen appliances also, mixie, grinder, because already he has entered the kitchen. Next is conglomerate, again unrelated. Strategic alliance, we saw what is advantage and disadvantage. Advantage, you already know, economic, all of those things. Disadvantage, sharing is the only disadvantage, because usually they will not share certain information. Because there is a strategic alliance, they are forced to share that information. The next is strategic exits. What is the meaning of turn around? Turn around means you're just looking back and seeing what actually went wrong. Conditions or indicators for turnaround strategy: when there is a persistent negative cash flow, similar to these points are similar to SA 570 going concern implications. I told you, negative cash flow, uncompetitive product, uncompetitive service, market share is reducing, physical facility is not there, overstaffing, high turnover of employees, mismanagement. All of these are conditions or indicators to go for turnaround strategy. What is the action plan? 5 stages are there, yes or no? Stage number 1, assessment of the current problem. Stage 2, analyze the situation and develop a proper plan. Stage number 3, implement the emergency action plan. Here they'll talk about bleeding. Immediately you have to stop the wound from bleeding, all those things. Implement the emergency action plan. Restructuring the business and returning to normalcy. What are the elements for turnaround? Change must happen from top management, credibility building, neutralizing the external pressure, asset liquidation, identify quick payoff activity, quick cost reduction, revenue recognition, and better internal coordination. Reasons: no longer wishes to remain in the business. It could be made viable by way of divesting. Business acquired proves to be a mismatch at a later stage. Persistent negative cash flows. Competition if it is high. Technological upgradation. No money is there. Better alternative is available. Then you will not look at this strategy, will go for turnaround. Next is divestment. That means you are selling a part, sale or liquidation of a portion of business, not fully putting the shutter. That is reasons: Business which is acquired proves to be a mismatch. Persistent negative cash flow. Competition. Technological upgradation. No money is there. Characteristics. It is to be viewed as an integral part. Usually there will be stigma if you are going to sell out. I spoke about the example of Sri Krishna Sweets, 47 branches, only 5 are profit making, but still I did not ask them to shut down all the branches because there is a stigma involved. But ideally you have to look at this strategy as a pivotal for any kind of strategy management in the company, and there should not be any kind of stigma which is attached. Not only relevant for loss making business but also relevant for lower than expected growth or no future clarity or lesser than target profit. That means only loss making na mattuna you need to go for divestment strategy. It is not like that. Any kind of poor performance also you can go for. And what is that poor performance? Only those 3 points we saw. Next is liquidation. Example we saw was Kodak, where they will put the shutter and they will go. Next is strategic options. How many options did we see? 4 options. Very easy. You just have to ask 2 questions. One is what by what matrix. The second is what is there in x-axis, what is there in y-axis. Then you will be able to tell everything by yourselves. The first one is ANSF's product market growth matrix. Name itself has what is there in x-axis, what is there in y-axis. X-axis has products, y-axis has market. Existing product, new product, existing market, new market. Same product, same market means it is called as market penetration. Example, Starbucks loyalty card. New product for existing market. Product development. Existing product, new market. Market development. New product, new market, diversification. One example for all these 4 we saw. Gucci is an example which ICA material itself has given. Gucci usually sells luxury clothes. Gucci, if it starts selling casual clothing, that becomes a new product in Chinese market. They are actually from Europe. That is diversification, because new product, new market. Same clothes, luxury clothes in Chinese market. That is market development, because they're only moving to a new market, but they're selling the same product. To the existing European market, they start selling casual wear. That is product development, because to the same market they're selling a different product. Market penetration is existing product, existing market. The next is Arthur D. Little matrix. That is 4x5 matrix. On one side we had product life cycle, and on the other side we had competitive position. BCG growth share matrix. 2x2 matrix. On one side we have market share, one side we have growth rate. Market share is high, growth rate is high. Appadina it is called as star. TikTok stars, I told you as example, highly they are growing at a very huge space. Yes or no? The next is lower market share but high growth rate. They're growing at a very high speed, but still they have not captured the market. Example, VR, metaverse and all of those things. Question mark. BR is written here. It is VR. VR and metaverse, it's still a question mark because they have not taken the market share, but they are growing at a extremely high space. Both are low. Aprina? Low growth rate and low market share. That is dogs. Example, floppy disk. They are out of the market. Cash cow is low growth rate, but they've already captured the market share. Example, MS Office, Google and all. They are basically the cash cows. You can generate a lot of money because of cash cows. General Electric matrix, also called as stop light strategy model. On x-axis we have business strength, and on y-axis we have market attractiveness. Here you will be doing that green, red, yellow or orange in between. In this there was orange, ADL matrix there is orange, and in this there is yellow, correct? What by what matrix is that? Stoplight matrix. It is a 3x3 matrix. Diagonally there was yellow, on one side there was green, on the other side there was red. I just told you one rule. From red to green, when they are transiting, at least one cell must be in yellow or orange. Now here they can ask a question, how do you see what is business strength? Business strength is measured by all of these things. How do you see what is market attractiveness? Market attractiveness is measured by all of these points. If you remember in our class also, I told you this part is important. General Electric matrix. They can ask, how do you measure business strength? How do you measure market attractiveness? With this, chapter number 4 quick revision is done. Yes. Now going to chapter number 4. Again from back only I am going to go. Don't disturb. Question number 25.
Strategic alliances are formed if they provide an advantage to all the parties in the alliance. Do you agree? Explain in brief the advantages of strategic alliance.
Strategic alliance itself means whoever is party to that alliance, they should have some kind of an advantage. What are the advantages of strategic alliance? Now only we saw this organizational, economic, strategic and political. Now under each of the things, what should you write? Organization, strategic alliance may be formed to learn necessary skills and obtain certain capabilities from a partner. Strategic partner may also help to enhance productive capacity, provide a distribution system, extend a supply chain. A strategic partner may provide a good or service that complements each other, thereby creating a synergy. What is economic? Economic means money, reducing the cost, reducing the risk by distributing them across the members. Partners can also obtain greater economies of scale in an alliance. What is a strategic advantage? Two competing firms can come together and they will have an alliance. Organizations may join to cooperate instead of compete with each other. Alliances may also create vertical integration where partners are part of supply chain. That means like this also it can happen, like this also alliance can happen. Strategic alliance may also be useful to create a competitive advantage by pooling of resources and skills. What is political? If you want to go to a new country and open a business, then you can have legal barriers or local prejudices. Forming strategic alliance with politically influential partners may also help overall influence and position. Easy answer, correct? Rohit Patel.
As a small chemist shop in the central part of Ahmedabad, what kind of competencies Rohit can build to gain competitive advantage over online medicine sellers?
Now they went to competitive advantage. Where is actually competitive advantage? It is in chapter number 3, competitive advantage, last part of chapter number 3. They are asking Rohit Patel, he has a small chemist shop. In every chapter like this, 1 or 2 questions will be there. Purposely I have kept. Competitive advantage over online medicine sellers. Now you have to tell what is the meaning of competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means he is doing something different. Now he has a chemist shop. Chemist shop means like a pharmacy. He is having a pharmacy. Apart from online medicine sellers, whatever they are doing, how can he be different? How can he have that competitive advantage? Now you have to write it in your own words here. Yes or no? How is he going to have the competitive advantage? He can have cordial relationship with the customers, which will not be there in the online market. Provide home delivery with no additional cost. It won't be there. Everything will be there in the book or what? It will not be there. He is asking a specific question regarding chemist shop. You know what is competitive advantage. With that you are expected to write the answer. You know or not what is competitive advantage? You know. How is he going to be different from the online medicine seller? Developing personal and cordial relationship with customer. Providing home delivery with no additional cost. Developing a system of speedy delivery that can be difficult to match by online seller. Online, tomorrow only you will get the medicine. Today itself I will give the medicines. Create a network to supply at wider locations. Having extended working hours till 12 o'clock I will be available for you. Providing easy credit. Credit means you buy the medicine now, month end you give me the money, or a system of monthly payments to the patients consuming regular. On your own you have to write because you understood what is competitive advantage. Next question. A business consultancy.
A business consultancy firm focuses on providing specialized services in environmental management consultancy. It assists client companies in establishing robust environmental management accounting systems for the measurement, recording and analysis of environmental costs. A significant portion of the firm's operation involves conducting environmental audits to verify compliance with international assurance standards in environmental management, an exclusive service not offered by its competitors. While the firm also undertakes other management consultancy projects, these constitute only a minor share of its total annual revenue. Identify the strategy categories by Michael Porter, which best describes the strategy of this
Michael
firm.
Porter's strategy, where did we see? In chapter number 3 again. Again, surprise question. Chapter number 3 question. What is the strategy that he is doing? Is he focusing on cost leadership or is he focusing on any quality for a mass market? Or is he focusing on any niche? Here, what strategy is it? It is focused strategy. Focused strategy means for a specific niche, he is going to build the product. By concentrating primarily on the market for consultancy services in environmental management, the firm is pursuing a focus strategy, because consultancy services verum sonna it is differentiation strategy, but specifically environmental management, then he is focusing on a specific niche, that is focus strategy. Its provision of audit services which rival firms do not offer highlight a differentiation strategy within this specific market niche. Therefore firm is following a focused differentiation strategy. Now focus strategy is going to be of two types, yes or no? Focus cost leadership strategy, focused differentiation strategy. For a niche they are focusing on quality, that is focused differentiation. For a niche they are focusing on price, that is cost leadership. Now this involves unique features that cater to the specific needs of a narrow market segment. As with the focused low cost strategy, narrow markets can be defined differently depending on the context. For instance, some firms using the strategy focus on a particular sales channel, such as exclusively selling online, while others may target specific demographic groups. Firms that compete on uniqueness while addressing the need of a narrow market exemplify the focused differentiation strategy. Where are they giving clue that this is focused differentiation strategy? Where? Oh, focuses on providing specialized services. Then they can say focuses on providing services at a low cost. Then what will you say? It becomes focused cost leadership strategy. Now here it is focused on a specialized service. What is that service? Environmental management, very rare, very niche market. So it automatically becomes focused differentiation strategy. Going to the next one, leather 8. Manufacture of footwear, manufacture of bags, is that the same question? Concentric, same one. So this concentric we already finished in chapter number 5. So here it is easy. Now explain in brief
The
various basis of differentiation strategy. What is the basis? Under differentiation strategy, we actually have basis. How are they going to achieve? Advantages, disadvantages. Now they are asking the basis. There are 3 bases. Yes or no? Product, pricing, organization. What is the example that we saw for each of the 3? Apple. That's why I gave clue here. You saw this? I drew the apple. Example is apple. Product, innovative product that meet customer needs can be an area where a company has an advantage over. That is apple only. However, the pursuit of, I thought of doing like this, then it will be too obvious, so I gave a clue like this. However, the pursuit of a new product offering can be costly. Research and development as well as production and marketing costs can add. I told you in US they're going to stand in line and they're going to buy. Pricing also Apple is there. Why? Because he is giving that 1 lakh only, people are standing in line and buying. If he's going to give for 20,000 rupees, any other phone they'll not have. So it fluctuates based on its supply and demand and may also be influenced by customers' ideal value for a product. Companies that differentiate based on product price can either determine to offer the lowest price, or also they can attempt to establish superiority through higher prices. Organization, for this also again Apple only, Apple fanboys and fangirls, where they'll be standing in line. Organizational differentiation is yet another form of differentiation. Maximize the power of a brand or using specific advantages that an organization possesses can be instrumental to company's success. Next one. You are
a strategic manager for a tech company launching a new smartphone model. The company wants to target tech-savvy consumers who value innovation and cutting-edge technology. Using the concept of customer behavior, develop a marketing strategy to promote the new smartphone.
Again, some other chapter. Now they're talking about using the concept of customer behavior. What is customer behavior? For this, I gave an example, if you remember. When you're going and watching a movie, what are the things that you will see? One is you yourself will go and want to watch the movie. One is you will be seeing the review of Blue Satai, review of It Is Prashant. That is external influences. And internally, your psychological factors will also affect 2 points over. Third one, Decision making, you'll take that decision making whether I have to go and watch that movie. Then after watching the movie, the fourth one, post decision process, whether you have to watch again, repeat purchase and all of those things. Not good, bad, ugly and all. Again, one time also, all Ajit fans will put the Ajit good, bad, ugly, good only. Ajit is good, but story is not good. Now, 4 questions if you put 4 points: external influences, internal influences, decision making, and post decision process. External influences: utilize online platforms and tech forum to generate buzz around the new smartphone. Now, listen here, they gave the 4 points, but inside what you have to write is your own points, because specific to the question, new smartphone model, using the concept of customer behavior, they are asking you to develop a marketing strategy. So first one, external influences, what are you going to do? Use the online platform to generate a buzz around the new smartphone. Partner with tech influencers, MKBHD and all, you send that phone, then he'll put the review, then they will buy, everybody will buy. Give to all the bloggers to review the product and create awareness among tech savvy customers. Internal influences: appeal to the desire for innovation, advanced features among tech savvy customers. Highlight the unique selling points of the new smartphone, such as its cutting edge technology, performance, design. Decision making: recognize that tech savvy customers are early adopters who value functionality and performance. Provide detailed specifications and comparisons with other smartphones to help them make an informed decisions. Post decision process: offer excellent customer service, because after they purchase also they need to refer to other people, and support to address any technical issues or concerns. Encourage customers to provide feedback and reviews to build the credibility. Like that, you know what is customer behavior, those 4 points. With that, you are expected to write your own points according to the question. Is that clear? Next one. Which strategy
is implemented by redefining the business, by enlarging its scope of business and
direct, not a redefinition of business we saw in stability strategy. Redefinition of business we saw in growth strategy. Which strategy is implemented by redefinition of business? Which strategy? Growth or expansion strategy? Explain the
major reasons for adopting this
why
strategy.
will you adopt this strategy? Environment demands increase in pace. Strategists will feel that people who are executives will have pride. No, this is chapter number 4. Yes? Chapter number 4. Expansion may lead to greater control over the market vis-a-vis competitors. Advantages from experience curve. Expansion also includes intensifying, diversifying, acquiring and merging businesses. Chapter number 4. Now only we saw this in VAV notes. Yes or no? Reasons for growth or expansion strategy. Next, Technova.
Technova, a leading software development firm known for its cutting-edge operating systems, is developing a groundbreaking new platform. Electrowave, an emerging player in the electronics and hardware industry, specializes in manufacturing advanced devices. Technova and Electrowave have decided to join forces to design innovative laptops and smartphones, aiming to tap into new markets and broaden their business horizons. What kind of external growth strategy is being considered by Technova and Electrowave?
Technova is specialized in one thing, Electrowave is specialized in one thing. Both of them coming together and they want to give something to the market. What kind of growth strategy is given a clue also. External growth strategy as told. What kind of it is this? Co-generic merger, because similar one already it is happening, so it is easier to do something else in the similar industry, related but non-competing industry, allowing them to leverage complementary strengths and diversify their product offering. Technova specializes in creating cutting-edge software, while Electrowave focuses on manufacturing advanced electronic devices. By joining forces, they can combine the expertise to design innovative laptops and smartphones, creating products that neither company could have developed as effectively on their own. Co-generic merger provides significant opportunities for both the companies to capitalize on shared technology, streamline their operations and expand their customer base. It is a strategic move that enables them to diversify while maintaining a strong focus on their core competencies, ultimately helping them to grow and compete more effectively. Please mark somewhere as important. Usually people will think it is some kind of a merger which is happening here. It is a merger, but it is a co-generic merger. Please mark somewhere. Analyze the role of
Key
key
success
success
factors
factor in determining
determining competitive
competitive success
success.
within an industry. What is key success factors? Third chapter, no, second chapter. Key success factors are those things. See, fourth chapter means you should not think only fourth chapter. In exam, you are going to get the question paper where all chapters are going to be mixed. So you should be ready for everything. Industry's key success factors are the ones that most affect industry's members' ability to prosper in the marketplace. The particular strategy elements, product attributes, resources, competencies, competitive capabilities, and business outcomes that spell the difference between profit and loss and ultimately competitive success or failures. KSF are also the rules that shape whether a company will be financially and competitively successful. Again, you will see this question there, don't worry. Orion Tech Solutions.
I'm already seen.
Work
Yeah,
hard, play multiple times. This work hard, play hard. They have asked. They might ask in exam. What I want you to do here, don't keep reading like this. Right, first point, they're talking about culture. Second point, they're talking about alignment and drives performance even when there is minimal alignment. Third point, culture rooted in value, practice, behavioral norms that align with requirement. Like that, keywords, you write it down. There'll be about 6 or 7 points. That's all. Write it down. Then when you remember the keywords, you can make a sentence which has the correct meaning. Is that okay? Going to question number 15.
Strategic alliances are formed if they provide an advantage to all the parties in the alliance.
Again, advantages of strategic alliance, organization, economic, strategic and political. I'm not even reading inside. StarTech.
StarTech Solutions, an aerospace technology firm, operates in a highly competitive industry. Despite the fierce competition in the aerospace sector, StarTech has carved out a niche for itself by
Niche is the
focusing.
keyword.
Yeah, focusing on serving unique high-end clients.
High-end clients. Unlike
Unlike
its
its
competitors,
competitors,
StarTech
StarTech
has
has
chosen
chosen.
not to diversify its target market and specialize in providing cutting-edge solution to this niche market. Same thing, it is focus differentiation. What is the question that they have asked? Identify, we've identified, explain the strategy and discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the strategy. Quickly, let's go through the advantages and disadvantages of focus differentiation. Advantages. Is this the same as rivalry? I told you advantages is going to be same 5 points for two things. What are the two things? Cost leadership and differentiation strategy. For these two, the advantages side heading is going to be the same. What is the rivalry, buyer, supplier, entrance, substitutes? These 5 side headings is going to be the same, but for focused it is different. Here, strong customer loyalty, high profit margin, reduced competition, better resource allocation. What are the disadvantages? Kutti market size because they're focusing only on niche, risk of market changes, higher cost and imitation by competitors is possible. Next question.
Reshuffle Corp is a company that manufactures and sells office furniture. They offer a range of products from desks and chairs to cabinets and shelves. Recently, the company has been facing increased competition from online retailers offering similar products at lower prices. Analyzing the characteristics of products in the furniture industry, discuss how Reshuffle Corp can differentiate in its products to maintain a competitive edge in the market.
Analyze characteristics of products. That's the first question. Second is discuss how this company can differentiate to maintain a competitive edge. Product na tangible and intangible aspects, pricing, product features, product centric approach and product life cycle management. Tangible and intangible. What is the tangible part? What is the intangible part here? He is giving what? He is giving office furniture. Tangible part is office furniture should be of good quality. Intangible is if there is any service or if there is any repair, if there is any breaking, then they'll have to do the excellent customer service. Next, pricing strategy. They'll have to focus on cost optimization. Features of the product by continually optimizing their product features based on feedback from the customer. Product centric approach. That means all the business processes must, from production to sales and marketing, are aligned for customer needs, customer expectation only. Product life cycle management, every product is going to go through the life cycle, so you have to manage. There should be reinvention for product, or you yourself can have the replacement accordingly. This is discuss how they can maintain a competitive edge. ABC Retail.
ABC retail chain regularly monitors consumer trends and supply chain flexibility. The retail chain tracks consumer trends to adjust its offerings, ensuring they meet customer needs. Simultaneously, it maintains a flexible supply chain to respond swiftly to demand fluctuations. This strategy enables ABC retail chain to anticipate market shifts and adapt to them effectively, ensuring its competitiveness and customer satisfaction. Which type of strategy is the retail chain employing?
What are they talking about? ABC regularly monitors the customer trends and supply chain. Retail chain tracks consumer trends to adjust offerings to ensure whatever is required for the customer side. Simultaneously, in the supply side also, they are looking at the fluctuations. This strategy enables them to anticipate market shift and adapt them effectively, ensuring its competitiveness and customer satisfaction. Now, on one side, anything can change. On the other side, they are being self-sufficient as much as possible. The strategy here combines both proactive and reactive elements. Reactive means something has happened and this company is reacting to it. Proactive means nothing has happened, but still to safeguard against whatever can happen in the future, they'll have a proactive strategy, because they are focusing on both the sides. On the consumer side also they are focusing, supplier side also they are focusing. Monitoring consumer trends and adjusting product offerings accordingly demonstrates a proactive approach to anticipate and meet customer needs. On the other hand, maintaining a flexible supply chain to respond quickly to changes in demand reflects a reactive strategy to address unforeseen shift in the market. This combination allows the retail chain to both anticipate future trends and react effectively to immediate market changes. Now, if they ask this question, strategy in sonna, you will start thinking about cost leadership or differentiation, or whether that strategy you will start thinking. But there is an example which is given for proactive and reactive elements, where they are saying proactive means he is going to look at customer chain, and proactive means he's going to look at the supply chain, and reactive means he's going to look at the customer chain. Ulta. Proactive means he's going to look at the customer chain, and reactive means he's going to look at the supply chain. Like that, there is an example. So because that example is there, and he has given that question based on that example. So please write it somewhere. Proactive hyphen. They asked it. In Jan Atom they asked. Proactive hyphen supply chain, customer chain, reactive hyphen supply chain. Already asked means very less. Distinguish between concentric diversification and conglomerate. Finally, back to chapter number 4. What is concentric? What is conglomerate? The main difference between them is concentric is related products, conglomerate is unrelated products. Concentric diversification occurs when a firm adds related products or markets. On the other hand, conglomerate diversification occurs when a firm diversifies that are unrelated to its current line of business. In concentric diversification, the new business is linked to the existing business through process, through technology, or through marketing. Conglomerate diversification, there is no such linkage. The new business is disjointed from the existing business. The most common reason for pursuing concentric diversification are that opportunities in a firm's existing line of business are available. However, common reasons for pursuing a conglomerate growth strategy is that opportunities in a firm's current line of business are limited, opportunities outside are high. Clear? The next one, CEO of a textile mill
believes that his company currently operating at a loss can be turned around. Develop an action plan outlining steps the CEO can take to achieve this turnaround.
Directly they are asking action plan for turnaround strategy. 5 steps are there. Stage number 1, assessing the current. Second, assessing the current. Second one, Analyze the situation and develop a plan. Third, implement the emergency action plan, restructure the business and returning to normalcy. In the first step, assess the current problems and get to the root cause and extent of damage. Stage number 2, analyze the situation and develop a strategic plan. Identify major problems and opportunities, develop a strategic plan with specific goals and detailed functional actions after analyzing strengths and weakness in the area of competitive position. Stage number 3, implementing an emergency action plan. If the organization is in a critical stage, the appropriate action plan must be developed to stop the bleeding and enable the organization to survive. Stage number 4, restructure. If the core business is irreparably damaged, the outlook for entire organization may be bleak. Efforts to be made to position the organization for rapid improvement. Returning to normalcy is stage number 5, final stage. The organization should begin to show signs of profitability, return on investment, and enhancing economic value added. These 5 stages are for action plan for turnaround strategy. Direct question.
Imagine you are a strategic consultant advising a retail company that is facing increasing competition from online retailers. Already we see.
Already we saw strategy is partly proactive, partly reactive. How can company react? Partly proactive strategy means analyze market trend, customer preferences to identify opportunities for growth. Reactive strategy means react to changes in the market environment, new online shopping platform. So access the impact on its business and develop a response. Same thing. Question number 8.
Write a short note on the role of ADL matrix in assessing the competitive position of a firm.
ADL matrix, Arthur D. Little matrix they are asking. Write a short note on that in assessing the competitive position of the firm. Now Arthur D. Little matrix is what by what matrix? 4 by 5 matrix. In that, what are they talking about on either of the axes? Product life cycle on one side, on the other side competitive position. Now in assessing the competitive position, they have specifically asked, what is there in that competitive position? Start from down. Weak, tenable, favorable, strong, dominant. These 5 points you will have to tell. Dominant, strong, favorable, tenable and weak. ADL matrix has derived its name from Arthur D. Little, which is a portfolio analysis method based on product life cycle. The approach forms a two-dimensional matrix. All the matrices are two-dimensional, yes or no? Except for one matrix we saw. Which matrix is not two-dimensional? Every matrix is two-dimensional matrix. Yes or no? Two-dimensional means there is going to be an x-axis, y-axis. G matrix also two-dimensional. There is one matrix where there is three-dimensional. Strategic group mapping where there is x, y and also with the size of that round. In which chapter did we see that? Third chapter we saw strategic group mapping. That is three-dimensional. Others, everything you can write. It forms a two-dimensional matrix based on stage of industry maturity and firm's competitive position. Now first one, they're talking about dominant. This is a comparatively rare position and in many cases attributable either to a monopoly or a strong and protected technological leadership. Strong, by virtue of this position, the firm has a considerable degree of freedom over its choice of strategy and is often able to act without its market position being unduly threatened by its competitors. Favorable, this position which generally comes when the industry is fragmented and no one competitor is standing out clearly. Tenable, that means not only that somehow surviving in the market, although the firms within the category are able to perform satisfactorily and can justify staying in the industry, they are generally vulnerable in the face of increased competition. Weak in this category, generally unsatisfactory. Now do you remember the colors in this matrix? Now 5 are there: weak, tenable, favorable, strong, dominant. Here it is introduction, growth, maturity, decline, aging. Introduction badala embryonic stage, growth stage, mature stage and aging stage. But this is the same thing only. Now do you remember the colors which we saw? Quickly let's revise that also because we didn't see the colors in the WAV notes also, correct? The first one, if you see, if there is a dominant position, then fully it will be green in color. Weak one, is it red color? it is red color, but whenever you go to red, there is a rule that you have to stay in orange at least for one cell. Now this orange I told you will go diagonally. This is just a shortcut. I told you how you can remember where and all red is there, where and all greens are there. Is that clear? This is Arthur D. Little matrix. You can see that yellow flow as a diagonal line. On one side there's fully green, on the other side there is fully red. Red means divest, turn around, all of those things. Orange means hold niche. Green means you can go ahead, expand rapidly and all of those things. Next is question number 7.
Jinklo Limited is an established online children gaming company in Japan. They are performing good in the gaming industry. The management of Jinklo Limited has decided to expand its business. They decided to start a premium sports drink named Jinx for athletes. Identify and explain the growth strategy adopted by Jinklo Limited.
It is a gaming company and now they want to start a new business which is a sports drink. What kind of strategy is this? Is it a growth strategy or stability strategy? Is it a growth strategy? What kind of growth strategy? Internal or external? It is internal. Under internal diversification. Under that, what is it? It is conglomerate. Conglomerate diversification means it is unrelated. Unrelated, did they do that strategy? Yes. First they were into online gaming. Unrelated, they are opening a sports drink, that is conglomerate diversification. Currently Jinklo Limited is performing in the children's gaming industry, but now its management has decided to expand their business by starting a premium sports drink named Jinx for athletes. As there are no links to both products with respect to customer group, customer functions or the technologies being used, Jinklo Limited have opted for conglomerate diversification. Jinklo Limited diversifies in a business that is not related to their existing line of products and can be termed as conglomerate diversification. In conglomerate diversification, new business or new product are disjointed from existing business or existing product in every way possible. It is an unrelated diversification in process, technology, function. There is no connection between the new product and existing ones. The text also you need to know how to write. You will easily find out unrelated, conglomerate, but you also need to know how to write the points. What do you understand by strategic alliance? Discuss its own. I feel like strategic alliance advantages is it will come in your exam because multiple times they have asked, and last Jan attempt they didn't ask, September attempt also they didn't ask, May attempt they are going to ask. Advantages of strategic alliance.
Innovatech, a technology company with a range of business units, is assessing its investment opportunities. To allocate resources effectively, Innovatech uses a matrix that evaluates each business unit based on two key factors: industry attractiveness and business unit strength. For example, the AI solutions divisions positioned in a highly attractive industry with a strong competitive edge receives a go-ahead for further investment. In contrast, its legacy software division operating in a less attractive industry with a weaker position receives a be careful rating, suggesting limited investment. Identify and explain which analytical tool Innovatech is using for this evaluation.
Which matrix are they using? G matrix, also called as stoplight strategy model. Innovatech is using the GE matrix, a strategic tool designed to assess the resource allocation needs of different business units based on two factors: industry attractiveness and business unit strength. This matrix is a 9-cell grid that helps companies prioritize investments by categorize units into grow, hold or harvest zones depending on their positions within the market. What did they say? For Innovatech AI solution division, they said it falls in the grow category, that means further investment. Meanwhile, legacy software division, less attractive industry, weaker position, harvest or hold category where investments are going to be minimized. The GE matrix enables companies like Innovatech to systematically evaluate each business unit potential, optimize resource allocation and focus on divisions that align with long-term growth and profitability goals. Now, what is the keyword which is given in the question which made you say that this is GE matrix. Industry attractiveness and business strength. So these two words is the x-axis and y-axis for GE. So that is the terminology that they have used. So you are supposed to know what is x-axis, y-axis, and immediately once you see these two terminologies, GE matrix should come to your head. Is that clear? Question number 4. Distinguish between concentric and already completed? No. Some other question, read it.
Pizza Galleria was India's first pizza delivery chain, enjoying monopoly for several years. However, after the entry of Modino and Uncle Jack, it is struggling to compete. Both Modino and Uncle Jack have opened several eateries and priced the product aggressively. In the last 4 years, the chain has suffered significant losses. The chain wishes to know whether they should go
Okay,
for a turnaround
directly they
strategy.
have asked whether they should go for turnaround strategy. List the components of action plan for turnaround strategy. When will you go for turnaround strategy? Persistent negative cash flow, uncompetitive product, uncompetitive services, declining market share, deterioration in physical facility, overstaffing, high turnover, low morale, mismanagement, all of these things. Next, what are the action plans? The same 5 stages of action plan. Question number 2.
Justify the statement. Stability strategy is opposite of expansion strategy.
Is stability strategy the opposite of expansion strategy? Yes, it is, because stability is, it is not a redefinition of business. Lower risks are there. They are not asking difference. They are only saying stability strategy is opposite of expansion strategy. You justify that statement. You have to talk only about stability strategy here. You will say stability strategy is for, and you'll also say this is not a do nothing strategy, not a redefinition of business. It is few functional changes are made and mature business organization. That means in the product life cycle, it is in the maturity stage. On the other hand, expansion strategy is aggressive strategy where it involves redefinition of business, where there are so many investments done. Expansion is a promising and popular strategy that tends to be equated with dynamism, vigor, promise, and success. All these stories you will have to write. Next question. First one.
XYZ Corporation is a multinational conglomerate operating in various industries. They have a diverse portfolio of businesses, including a leading consumer electronics division, a growing e-commerce platform, a mature industrial machinery division, and a newly established software development unit. Which division of XYZ Corporation would most likely be classified as a star in the BCG growth share matrix?
What is a star? This in Jan attempt they asked this. It's an RTP May question. If you had studied RTP, then Jan attempt strategic alliance advantages should come. Now here, what is the question that they are asking here? Which will be classified as a star? Now star is what? High market share, high growth rate. What matrix is this? Boston Consulting Group matrix. In the BCG growth share matrix, division or business units are classified into 4 categories: star, cash cow, question marks, and dots. These classifications are based on combination of market share and market growth rate. A star in the BCG matrix represents a business unit with a high market share in a high growth rate market. In this scenario, newly established software development unit will be classified as a star. The software development unit is described as newly established, suggesting that it is operating in a high growth market. Additionally, the potential for high market share can be inferred if the unit is strategically positioned to become a leader in the software development industry. Stars typically require significant investment to fuel their growth, but they have the potential to become future cash cows as the market matures. Therefore, software development units high growth potential. In the question, they gave few divisions: diverse portfolio, consumer electronic division. This is already in the leading stage, leading consumer electronic division. Growing e-commerce platform, mature industrial manufacturing division, newly established software development unit. So you have to identify what is a star. Newly established software development is the star, because if it's already mature, it cannot be a star. It can either be a cash cow or a dog. If it is leading consumer electronic division, high growth rate is there, but don't know about the market share and all. So it can be a question mark. Only this one is newly established software development unit, so it is a star. Is that clear? In matrix, you can definitely expect one question, minimum one question from matrix, Arthur D. Little matrix, or the star, cash cow, or even GE matrix, or even that business strength, market attractiveness. All the four matrices are extremely important, guys. Which one they asked? BCG they asked. Ansof's matrix, penetration, all those things they asked. So they can ask this market attractiveness and business strength. In external, there was one question, which, yeah, 3 questions we saw. Co-generic also we saw 2 or 3 questions. That is also important. So this is chapter number 4 also comes to an end. Now let's quickly start off with chapter number 3, strategic analysis for internal environment. Now, what is this internal environment talking about? First, every company will have stakeholders within them. Who are the key stakeholders? Examples we are going to see, and how are you going to position each of the stakeholders? You are going to see by way of Mendelow's matrix. Now I told you matrix is important. This also is another matrix. So there 4 matrix. Already Mendelow's matrix asked. It's okay. So examples and Mendelow's matrix. Mendelow's matrix is also called as power interest matrix. Power on y-axis, interest on x-axis. Both are high now. They will be called as key player. Okay, don't refer to this matrix. It is wrong. Wrong this is. Interest and power. They can ask in MCQ. What? Don't study. MCQ 1 mark, 2 marks they can ask. So high interest, high power is key player. Who are those people? Examples, board of directors, CEO, CFO and all of those things. Low power, low interest, then what will you tell them? You will low priority. That means examples, business magazines, media houses and all of those people. High power but low interest. They are not actually concerned or interested in the organization, but high power means you have to satisfy them, keep satisfied. Example, government, banks, all of those people. Employees are not here. Employees are really interested in the organization. High interest and low power, they are employees and you call them keep informed. This is Mendelow's matrix. The next is what is keep satisfied, key players, low priority and keep informed. Next one, strategic drivers. There are 4 kinds of strategic drivers which is there. Industry and market, customer, products or service and channels. What is industry and market? Under that only we saw something called as strategic group mapping. On x-axis and y-axis what is there? Range of products and reputation. You saw reputation, correct? So here you will be grouping the customers together. You will be putting them in different circles. Now the size of that circle is also going to show you what is the proportional revenue to the entire market as a whole. So the strategic group mapping is going to be done this way. What is an x-axis? Range of products. Here reputation is going to be there. Highest and different circles to show what is the percentage revenue to the total industry as a whole. Now this one has high reputation even though range is little low. It is not that great. Now if you see this one, lower reputation and small revenue with respect to industry also, but range of products is very high, definitely they will die very quickly. Like this you will have to analyze. This is called as strategic group mapping. This is helpful to identify one's position as compared to its competitors. Procedure for constructing strategic group mapping, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3, you already know. What is customer versus consumer? What did we see inside that? Who is actually the buyer of the product, who is actually the user of that product. User is called as consumer, customer is the buyer. Can there be a circumstance where customer itself is the consumer? Yes, there can be a circumstance where both can be customer and consumer. What is the example we saw for this? Baby diaper, ring, all of those things. Marketing strategy has to be in such a way that customer is satisfied and also consumer is satisfied. Under products or services, what did we see? New product pricing strategy, it has to be in customer centric approach. Reasonable margin over cost and increase in market share must be there. Then we saw what are the marketing strategies. Under marketing strategies, we started off with what is social marketing. Social marketing example, Lifebuoy, where they said you have to wash your hands, and this is a public service message. This is not an advertisement, but everywhere what they kept, Lifebuoy, Lifebuoy, Lifebuoy on all four sides, and they said if you want to purchase, go to Reliance Fresh. That also they had put. Next, augmented marketing. Apple, I showed you the photo of the Apple ecosystem, iPad, everything is there. Direct marketing, we saw in Amazon, what will they say? We are going to buy a jacket. They will say, similar customers purchase shoes, similar customers purchase the belt, full look they are going to show. That is direct marketing that they are going to do. What is this relationship marketing? Where they're building a relationship, they're building a community. Example, Nike is actually selling shoes, but there is also Nike running club, Nike training club. Free apps are given where you can find your community. Services marketing, very differently they had marketed for Airbnb. People marketing, who is that? Example, KFC, Tata and Vasant and Co. Both are examples for people marketing. And any political leader, cricketers, all of them, they do personal marketing. Next is organizational marketing. Example, Maggie, because Maggie as an organization itself everyone banned, but still they revived themselves through just one notice saying lead is there everywhere, in the earth's crust it is there, in the air it is there, water is there, same way in the grains, food grains also it is there, like that it is there in Maggie. This is not harmful, like that they gave a service message. That is organization marketing. What is place marketing? Paris, Eiffel Tower proposal, all those things. Northern Lights, honeymoon, all that is place marketing. What is enlightened marketing? Dow, because they are focusing on long run and not on short run. Because in Dow marketing, if you see different kinds of people, black, white, brown, long hair, short hair, no hair, all those things will be there in curly hair. No hair also one girl was there. So like that they are, inclusivity is there for everybody. They are focusing only on the long run. Differential marketing, same company but for different products they are using different kinds of marketing techniques. Cadbury and 5-star. Yes or no? Cadbury, Dairy Milk and 5-star. Dairy Milk for doubles, 5-star for singles. Hindustan also, Fair and Lovely is also theirs. Dow is also theirs. So that is also differential. Synchro marketing. That means if there is a seasonal business, then if the season is low, if seasonal business, if the demand is low, at that time they will do some kind of marketing, because PVR, if you see, weekdays people will not go and see the movie, so they'll give bottomless popcorn, unlimited popcorn. Next is concentrated marketing, where you will see marketing only at specific places. Example, Rolex, where they'll only in tennis, where they will clap and see, they will only wear that Rolex watch and all. IPL dancing and all, they will not wear the Rolex watch. Next, demarketing, opposite of marketing, where they are going to surge the prices. Where Uber, where there is high demand, they will say 3x of the fare. Or you become marketing expert. Next is channels. There are 3 types of channels: sales channel, product channel and service channel. The next one is building core competency. Competency means what? Combination of skills and techniques. Core competency means combination of skills and techniques which makes the whole organization utilize the individual capabilities. Core competency areas can be by competitor differentiation, customer value, and whether you are able to apply to the other products. Criteria for building core competency: it has to be valuable, it has to be rare, costly to imitate and non-substitutable. Example, best example is ChatGPT. They've built the core competency like anything. Now someone will say deep sync, something you will say. SWOT analysis is what? Strength, weakness, opportunity. The strength and weakness is internal, opportunity that it is external. Competitive advantage, sustainability of competitive advantage depends upon durability, transferability, imitability and appropriability. Now Michael Porter has multiple strategies. First one is cost leadership strategy, where for the mass market he is focusing on reducing the cost. First example, Decathlon, mass market, lowering the cost is cost leadership. Decathlon, McD, all of that is cost leadership strategy. Low cost competitive strategy aiming at mass market. Risks, people can easily imitate, and technological breakthrough, if it is there, it is a huge risk. What is the action? Prompt forecasting of demand, optimum utilization of resources, economies of scale, standardization of products. For that only I told you the McD example. Cost saving techniques, resistance to differentiation. If you see the McD burger, all will be same size only. You can have the compass and put the round also. Advantages for cost leadership and for differentiation. Same 5 points you're going to say, but inside it is going to change. What are the 5 points? Rivalry, buyers, suppliers, entrants and substitutes. What are the disadvantages for cost leadership? If you reduce the cost, a competitor also will reduce the cost, so they can imitate the cost reduction technique. It is success only if there is economies of scale, that is volume is high. It is expensive in the long run. Technology is the biggest threat. Next is differentiation strategy. Here also you are going to focus on the broad masses only, but you are going to focus on the quality of the product. Basis, product, pricing, organization. Example, Apple, product pricing organization. Now only we said Apple and I drew that diagram also, you're still not seeing. What are the actions? Offer utility, increase the performance, increase the quality, innovation, prices which are based on the uniqueness of the product and brand image. Advantages, same rivalry, buyers, suppliers, entrants and substitutes. What are the disadvantages? This uniqueness is difficult to sustain in the long run. Too higher price, then they will switch to the alternative. I myself told 1.5 lakhs iPhone means next time if they say 2 lakhs and all, I will shift to Pixel, OnePlus, something I'll shift. Differential fails if it is not valued by customers. If you feel why you are paying this 1.5 lakhs for iPhone, if you have that feeling, then differentiation strategy will not work. The next is focused strategy. Focused strategy can be of two types: focused cost leadership and focused differentiation strategy. How are you going to achieve this? Specific niche, superior skill, increasing the efficiency, and by way of innovative ways. What is the advantage for focused? Premium price and tremendous expertise. What is the disadvantage? Firm lacking in distinct competency. Example for focus strategy, we saw Rolls-Royce, Ferrari car, all of those things. I think I told Rolls-Royce in your class. Yes, like how they denied for Mallika Sharawat, Rolls-Royce example. Disadvantage, firm lacking in distinctive competencies. Costs are very high. In the long run, the niche and all will disappear. People will start copying. Best cost provider strategy. That means in the middle we saw there was one strategy. New model develop of all three strategies. More value for money. Low cost, increasing the quality. So here there are two ways you can achieve it. You see the competitors, what quality, what price they are doing. You are going to give the same quality and lower the price. Or you are going to give the same price with high quality. That is the best cost provider strategy. Achieving by lower price with comparable quality, similar price with increasing quality. With this, wow notes of chapter number 3 comes to an end. Questions of chapter number 3. Just 13 questions are there. Quickly let's finish this. You are a strategic manager for a tech company. Read fast. You are a strategic manager
for a tech company launching a new smartphone model. The company wants to target tech-savvy consumers who value innovation and cutting-edge technology.
They're asking customer behavior. What kind of marketing strategy will you do for an... See, again, MTP, 2 MTPs it has come. Lot of chances they can ask in the exam. Because customer behavior, which you will have to write these 4 points. But inside, it is again your own words, yes or no. Like how there we saw chemist. Here it is. Oh, same question itself is. Oh, exact same question we saw. Okay. Oh, yeah. Influencers, tech influencers, MKBHD, same question. Question number 12.
Vikram Patel owns a chain of 10 bookstores across the Mumbai region. 3 of these stores were launched in the past 2 years. He has always believed in strategic management and enjoyed robust sales of books, magazines, and educational materials until about 5 years ago. However, with the increasing preference for online shopping, the sales at his physical stores have declined by approximately 60% over the last 5 years. Analyze Vikram Patel's current position in light of the limitations of strategic management.
What is he actually asking? Limitations of star. Which chapter? Chapter number 1. For this, do you have a mnemonic? They already asked. I think it's written Jan 25, MTP May 24. They already asked. MTP May 24 and Jan 25 they have asked. They asked? They asked. She's saying there. Limitations they have asked. Now, what is the limitation mnemonic that we have? What is the limitation mnemonic we have? You remember something? Etc. What is E? What is T? What is C? And it is square. ETC square. Environment is highly complex. T, it is a time consuming process, costly process, and competitor. What is ETC? What is ETC square? Competitors' response. Environment in which strategies are developed is highly complex and unpredictable. The entry of online bookstores, a new type of competitor, introduced a different dynamic to the book retail industry. These online platforms, with their extensive reach and pricing power, have dominated the market. Another limitation of strategic management is the Another limitation of strategic management is the difficulty in forecasting future developments. While strategic management is a time-consuming process, it is crucial for Vikram to continue managing strategically. Strategic management can be costly. Vikram can consider hiring experts to understand customer preferences better and adjust his strategy. Now let's go back to question number 11. Easy Life Corporation.
Easy Life Corporation, a leading manufacturer of consumer electronics, is considered launching a new line of smart home devices. As a strategic manager, conduct a SWOT analysis for Easy Life Corporation to assess the feasibility and potential success of this new venture. Consider both internal and external factors that could impact the success of the new product line.
See, you know what is SWOT analysis. With what you know, what is strength, weakness, opportunity and threat, they are asking you to frame what will you see for this new business. What is the new business, new line of smart home devices? So what is the strength, weakness, opportunity and threat? You will have to tell. What is the strength? Strong brand reputation in consumer electronics, established distribution network, access to technological expertise, financial resources to support the product launch. What is the weakness? In this smart home device, there is limited experience, may require additional investment in research and development. Potential challenges in integrating a new product line with existing, lack of established customer base. Now coming to opportunity. Growing market for smart home devices are there. You can partner with existing smart home platform providers, potential on leveraging the brand loyalty, ability to differentiate through innovative features and design. Here, what is the threat? Intense competition from established players in smart home device, rapid technological advancement lead to short product life cycle, potential for cyber security threat, economic factors impacting consumer spending. I told you, you know what is SWOT analysis, and for this case study they are asking you to do the SWOT analysis. What is a case study? He is a manufacturer of consumer electronics. That means he's already there in the market. Now he is launching a new line of smart home devices. With that you will have to write what can be his strength, what can be his weakness, what can be his opportunities and threats. Is that clear? Next question.
Major core competencies are identified in 3 areas: competitor differentiation, customer value, and application to other markets. Discuss.
They themselves have given major core competencies are identified in 3 areas: competitor differentiation, customer value and application to other markets. So basically what you have to write inside, you have to know for each of these things. According to C.K. Prahlad and Gary Hamel, major core competencies are identified in 3 areas: competitor differentiation, customer value and application to other markets. Competitor differentiation means what? The company can consider having a core competence if the competitor competence is unique and it is difficult for competitors to imitate. This can provide the company an edge compared to competitors. It allows the company to provide better products or better services to market with no fear that competitors can copy it. Customer value. When purchasing a product or service, it has to deliver a fundamental benefit for the end customer in order to be a core competence. It will also include all the skills needed to provide fundamental benefits. Service or product has to have real impact on the customer as the reason to choose to purchase them. Now about customer value, where else did we see? About customer value, where else did we see? Yes, value for the customer. You remember this chart we saw, you start off from 0, then your cost, then the margin, then the price, then you give something called value. What is the difference between the price and the value? In chapter 2, I told you an example also. Price is here. Value. Have you felt much more than the price? I asked you a question. In a dabba also it was given. What is the difference between price and value? It is called, shall I say it? It's called customer surplus or consumer surplus. I asked you this question. Did you feel anywhere in your life when you purchased something where you got high value? I told you about my grandfather, yes? So, where you will feel that the value that you are going to get is extremely high than the price that we are going to pay. Sometimes for food, you will feel that way. Customer value. Next is application of competencies to other markets. Core competency must be applicable to the whole organization. It cannot be only one particular skill or specified area of expertise. Therefore, although some special capability would be essential or crucial for the success of business activity, it will not be considered as core competence. The next one. This is not there. Chapter 5. Short note on matrix structure. Same thing, repeat. Short note on SWOT analysis. Strength is inherent capability. Weakness is inherent limitation. Opportunity is favorable condition which enables the strength. Unfavorable condition which causes a risk. Keywords, very, very important. Make note. Question number 7.
Elite Wheels Limited is a luxury automobile manufacturer that caters to affluent customers seeking exclusivity and high-end features. The company offers premium vehicles with cutting-edge technology, showed customization options, and top-tier customer service. Unlike mass-market car brands, Elite Wheel Limited charges a significant premium for its automobiles, ensuring that only a niche segments of customers can afford them. Additionally, the company invests heavily in advanced engineering and innovation to maintain its superior quality and brand prestige. Identify and explain the strategy adopted by Elite Wheels Limited.
Once you see this word niche itself, you know that this is focused strategy. Under focused strategy, are they doing focused cost leadership or are they doing focused differentiation? They're definitely doing focused differentiation only. But first, when you're starting off, according to Michael Porter, competitive advantage can be derived from 3 generic strategy: cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. Then you talk about what is focused differentiation. Elite Wheels targets a niche market by offering unique and high value automobiles tailored to the needs of affluent customers. While the company manages its cost efficiently, it does not compromise on the quality or the exclusivity of the products. By maintaining superior craftsmanship, the brands command a premium price. Thus, the strategy is focused differentiation. It involves distinctive features that cater to a specific market segment. Companies employing this strategy may target a specific customer demographic, geographic region, or sales channel. Firms that compete based on uniqueness and focus on a specialized market segment follow a focused differentiation strategy. Question number 6. What are channels? Why is channel analysis important? Explain different types of channels. Direct questions. What are the different types of channels? Product channels, service channel and sales channel. Channels represent the distribution system. Now types of channels you know, but they're also asking what are channels, why is it important? Channels represent distribution system through which organizations distribute their products or provide services to the customers. They play a pivotal role in reaching target markets, maximizing sales and establishing competitive advantage. That is the importance. Now channel analysis is important when the business strategy is to scale up and expand beyond current geographies and markets. Typically three channels are there. Sales channel, that means intermediaries involved in selling the product through each channel and ultimately to the end user. Product channel focuses on series of intermediaries who physically handle the product on its path from its producer to the end user. Service channel refers to entities that provide necessary services to support the product as it moves through the sales channel and after purchase by the end user also. ABC Corporation.
ABC Corporation, a leading manufacturer of consumer electronics.
Smart home devices, same thing they have asked. SWOT analysis is also marked as important. Twice they have asked RTP question, thrice they have asked RTP question, and somewhere else also we saw. Please mark it as important. How can Mendelow's matrix be used to analyze and manage the stakeholders effectively? The same question they asked. Similar Mendelow's matrix. Mendelow's matrix can be used effectively to analyze and manage stakeholders through a grid-based approach. What is Mendelow's matrix? You'll be identifying the stakeholders. What is the power and interest? Because Mendelow's matrix itself is power interest matrix. Plot the stakeholders on the grid. Stakeholders means what kind of stakeholders are they? How are they going to be interested? You will be plotting them on the grid. Develop the strategy for each of the quadrant, whether they are key player, whether you have to keep them satisfied, whether you have to keep informed, or whether they are low priority. Then you will monitor and adapt. There are 5 points here. Identify stakeholder, assess power and interest, plot them on the grid, develop strategies for each quadrant, monitor and adapt. Question number 3.
In spite of high commodity inflation, shortage of components and the threat of third wave of COVID-19 pandemic in India, manufacturers of packaged goods, home appliances and consumer electronics are expecting the business to grow by 12 to 25% in the coming months. After 1.5 years of disruption, manufacturers are now confident about managing their inventories better, keeping their supply channels well stocked, and preparing themselves to minimize the impact of any COVID-related restrictions, even as they gear up for the festive season, which usually accounts for 25 to 35% of their yearly sales. The home appliances sector could be an example. After a dismal April to June quarter in the year 2021, producers of air conditioners, refrigerators and washing machines are expected their business to grow by 15 to 20% in the months to come. All the companies operating in the sector have geared up to grab the opportunities available in the market. A leading company in the home appliances domain, XXP India, is planning to launch various innovative product designs and offer loyalty programs to lure consumers. With reference to Michael Porter's generic strategies, identify which strategy XSP India has planner for. Explain how this strategy will be advantageous to the company to remain profitable.
What is a strategy? Differentiation strategy, because it is for the mass market, but he is focusing on the quality here. Now what are the advantages? The 5 subheadings: rivalry, buyers, suppliers, entrants and substitutes. But only if you write these 5, you are not going to get the marks. For rivalry, brand loyalty acts as a safeguard against competitors. It means that customers will be less sensitive to price increases as long as the firm can satisfy the needs of its customers. Buyers, they do not negotiate for price as they get special features and they have fewer options in the market. Suppliers, because differentiators charge a premium price, they can afford to absorb higher cost of supplies as the customers are willing to pay extra. Entrants, Hence, innovative features are an expensive offer, so it is tough for the entrants to provide the same product with the special features. Substitutes products can't replace the differentiated products. Now, you have to first identify that this is differentiation strategy, then only you can write the advantages of differentiation strategy. How will you identify that this is differentiation strategy? What is the keyword in the question which made you tell me that they had gone for differentiation strategy? Innovative product designs, loyalty programs to lure the customers. So what are they doing? They are working on the design. They are not lowering the cost. If they are lowering the cost, then you will call it cost leadership strategy. Question number 2. There are 4 specific criteria for sustainable competitive advantage that firms can use to determine those capabilities that are known as core competency. Direct question. Core competency, what are the 4 points? Criteria for building core competency. It has to be valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and non-substitutable. Example we saw was ChatGPT, correct? Now under this, what will you write? Valuable capabilities are the ones that allow the firm to exploit opportunities or avert the threats in the external environment. A firm created value for customers by effectively using capabilities to exploit the opportunities. Finance companies build a valuable competence in financial services. In addition to make such competencies, as financial services highly successful requires placing the right people in the right job. They are talking about human capital is important in creating values for customers. Next is rare. Core competencies are very rare capabilities and very few of the competitors possess these. Capabilities possessed by many rivals are unlikely to be sources of competitive advantage for any one of them. Competitive advantage results only when firms develop and exploit valuable capabilities that differ from those shared with competitors. Costly to imitate means competing firms are unable to develop it easily. Non-substitutable means capabilities that do not have strategic equivalence. There must be no strategically equivalent valuable resource that are themselves either not rare or imitable. The last question. ABC Limited is a
ABC Limited is a beverage manufacturing company. It chiefly manufactures soft drinks. The products are priced on the lower side, which has made the company a leader in the business. Currently, it holds 35% of the market share. The R&D of the company developed a formula for manufacturing sugar-free beverages. On successful trial and approval by the competent authorities, the company was granted to manufacture sugar-free beverages. This company is the pioneer to launch sugar-free beverages which are sold at a relatively higher price. This new product has been accepted widely by a class of customers. These products have proved profitable for the company. Identify the strategy employed by the company ABC Limited and mention what measures could be adopted by the company to achieve the employed strategy.
See, first strategy he has used for soft drinks is going for low cost. But later when he went for that sugar free, what is he focusing on? He is not focusing on cost. He is focusing on giving a good product. He is charging a relatively high price and it has been accepted by a huge class of customers. These products have proved profitable. Identify the strategy. Now what is the strategy here? Again, a differentiation strategy. Have they asked differentiation strategy in the last 2 attempts? There is lots of chances they can ask differentiation strategy. How you will achieve advantages, disadvantages. All 3 are and basis. Basis for differentiation. That also they can ask. Multiple times that Apple they have asked. According to Porter, strategies allows organization. This is the way to start. According to Porter, there are 3 ways: cost leadership, differentiation and focus. Now this ABC has opted for differentiation because sugar-free beverages are going to charge higher for the products, making higher profits and maintaining competitive position. How are you going to achieve the differentiation strategy? Offer utility, improve performance, high quality, rapid innovation, brand image, brand value and provide unique features. Advantages, limitations they didn't ask. They just said identify the strategy strategy and what measures could be adopted. So how are you going to achieve? So achieving they have asked. Is that clear? Please mark differentiation strategy as extremely important for the May attempt. Clear? And what else in this chapter we saw? SWOT analysis. Multiple times they had asked. Core competency areas. Multiple times they have asked. And what else we saw? What else we saw? That's it. Mendelow's matrix already asked last time. That marketing and all so interesting. Not even single question MTP, RTP, nothing is there. Yes. With this chapter number 3 guys comes to an end. Welcome back after the long commercial break. Keep those photos away. Excuse me. Come back to class. Come back to SM. We have to do chapter number 2, strategic analysis for external environment. Now under this, what and all did we see? The first part, hello, listen here. The first part we saw what is strategic analysis. Under that the issues to consider. Under that there are 3 points. Strategy evolves over a period of time, balance of external, internal and risk. Under each of the things there is also sub points. Under strategy evolves over a period of time, balance of external, internal factor and risk. Under that each point is there. Now what is this matrix which is given here? Strategic risk matrix. Now on x-axis there is time and on y-axis there is strategic risk. Now this time is going to be short time or long time and risk is going to be internal risk or external risk. Strategy identification and selection, if you remember in our material there is a box and just 4 points, small points will be given, and I told you if it is in a box that means it is extremely important. So identification and selection, identify strategy alternative, select the strategy, implement the plan and review the strategy. This is the first part, strategic analysis. The second is strategic and business environment. What is the definition of business environment? All external factors or influences or any kind of situation that is going to affect the business decision, plan and operation. Does environment help the business? Yes, definitely it helps the business. A business operates in the environment only to determine the opportunity and threat, direction for the growth, continuous learning, image building and meeting the competition. These 5 points are how does the environment help the business. Categorization of external environment is micro and macro. Micro is the, what is the keyword? Immediate periphery. Micro is the immediate periphery and macro is factors of firm which lead to opportunities and threat. Macro is only PESTEL analysis and immediate periphery, the employees, existing customer, suppliers, local community and people who are giving the finances. All of these 5 will come under the immediate periphery, that is the micro external environment. What is internationalization of business? Characteristics of a global business. Now for this what example did we take? For a global business, McD. Characteristics of a global business. First one is it is a conglomerate of multiple units. There is a common pool of resources and there will be a common strategy. What is the steps in international strategic planning? Evaluate the global opportunities and threat. What is the scope? What is the objectives? And develop the strategy. International environment can be of 3 types. Multinational environment analysis, regional environment analysis and country environment analysis. The next is understanding the product and industry. Under that we have characteristics of product, whether it is tangible or intangible, price, delivery satisfaction, whether it is pivotal to the business and what is the useful life. Under that we saw what is product life cycle, introduction, growth, maturity and decline. Value chain analysis, there are 2 activities, primary and support activities. Under primary we have inbound logistics, transform input into output, outbound logistics, marketing and sales and service. Support activity is easy for procurement, tech, HR and infrastructure. The next one we went to industry and environment analysis. Under that we saw who is Porter's 5 force model. What are the 5 force model? Threat of new entrants, bargaining power of buyer, bargaining power of supplier, nature of rivalry in the industry and threat of substitutes. Under each of the points there are again sub-points. Threat of new entrants, a person who is entering now only, there is a capital requirement. Economies of scale, if we are enjoying, then he cannot enter. Product differentiation, if we are giving, and to switch to my product to his product, there is a switching cost if that is high. Brand identity, access to distribution channel, possibility of aggressive retaliation. This is threat of new entrants. Bargaining power of buyer. Buyer has the full knowledge. There can be big buyers and he will easily switch to the substitutes. Bargaining power of supplier. Now the person who's giving, he is having the bargaining power because that products are crucial for my manufacturing. Substitutes are not available. I cannot shift it. High switching cost I will have to incur even if I switch it, and more concentrated than the buyers. Nature of rivalry in the industry. Rivalry means it's talking about the competition. There will be somebody called industry leader, and if there is a lot of fixed cost which is already involved and now I am the leader, for somebody to come inside it becomes a problem. Number of competitors, exit barriers, product differentiation, slow growth. Threat of substitute, latent source of competition in an industry. Next is attractiveness of industry, experience curve and value creation. What is experience curve? It is also akin learning curve. So it is also called as learning curve, where the curve shows that if you keep increasing your number of output, your cost keeps reducing. So your cost per unit keeps on reducing. That is only the experience curve. Efficiency increased, gained by workers through repetitive work. Value creation, in this only we saw that cost, price and value gained by the customer. It's called consumer surplus. Concept of consumer surplus or customer surplus. Profitability depends on three factors, which is value, price and cost. Market and consumer. What is customer behavior? External influence, internal influence, decision making and post decision process. For this, what is the example we saw? No, Vijay movie. Vijay movie is the example we saw. External influence, internal influence, decision making and post decision process. 10 times you can see the movie. Competitive strategy. Steps to understand a competitive landscape. First you will be competitive landscape ne keta, you will come here. Market and consumers customer behavior ne keta, you will come here. Don't get confused. Competitive landscape ne keta, identify the competitor, understand the competitor, what is the strength of him, what is the weakness of him. Now I'll put all the information together. I will try to convert his weakness as my strength. What is key success factors? There are 3 questions. Product attributes, that is on what basis do customers choose between a competing brand, that is a product attribute. Second, what is the capability of the resources? Next is sustainable competitive advantage. This is the quick wow note revision of chapter number 2, external environment. With a workout of chapter number 2, question number 21, start music.
Analyze the role of key success factors in determining competitive success within an industry.
Key success factors they are asking that are most affect industry members' ability to prosper in the marketplace. The particular strategy elements, product attributes, resource competencies, competitive capabilities and business outcome that spell the difference between profit and loss, ultimately between competitive success or failure. Key success factors by the very nature are so important that all firms must pay close attention to them. They are the prerequisites for industry success, or put it in another way, key success factors are the rules that shape whether a company will be financially and competitively successful. The next one.
Strategic alliances are formed if they provide an advantage to all the parties in the alliance. Do you agree? Explain in brief
Advantages of strategic alliance. Did we already see it? What is the advantage? Multiple times, n number of times. Organizational, economic, strategic, political. Please, when you go home, read through what is there inside also. If they ask the question, you must write the keywords which is given inside also. Is that clear? Question number 19. What we saw? Smart home devices. Already we saw. Each organization must build its
competitive advantage, keeping in mind the business warfare. This can be done by following the process of strategic management. Considering this statement, explain major benefits of strategic management.
What are they asking? Which chapter is this first of all? First chapter, what are the benefits of strategic management? Do you remember what are the benefits? What is it? It gives the direction for the company. Second, more proactive than reactive. Third, let me see how many points you are able to remember. It gives the direction, okay. Proactive more than reactive, okay. What other things? Corporate defense mechanism. This is not the third point, but okay, I will accept. What enhances the longevity? Framework for decision making. Acts as a pathfinder, yes. We saw that point. How many are there totally? 7 points are there. Last one point, which is very, very important. Multiple questions we saw with respect to this point. Core competencies and competitive advantage. That is the 7th point. So here they are asking about benefits of strategic management. Direct question. Strategic management helps organization to be more proactive rather than reactive in dealing with futures. It facilitates to work within vagaries of environment and remains adaptable within the turbulence or uncertain future. Therefore, they are able to control their own destiny. It provides better guidance to entire organization on the crucial point, what it is trying to do. Also provides framework for all major business decisions of an enterprise, such as on business, products, market, organization structure, etc. It facilitates to prepare the organization to face the future and act as pathfinder to various business opportunities. Organizations are able to identify the available opportunity and identify ways and means as how to reach them. It serves as corporate defense mechanism against mistakes and pitfalls. Over a period of time, SM helps organization to evolve certain core competency and competitive advantage assist in fight of survival and growth. Easy. Next one.
Strategic alliance.
Advantages of strategic alliance, same thing. Definitely they will ask, I have a feeling. StarTech solutions. No. StarTech we didn't see. What? Cutting edge solutions to this niche market. Yes, yes, we saw this. Focus differentiation, correct? Yeah. Next one. Reshuffle Corp is a company. Already saw. Products, tangible and intangible, pricing strategy, product features, product centric approach. Each organization, this one you tell. Okay, benefits of strategic management. Define SPM. Types of SPM, financial measures. Everything we saw. Green gardens. We saw. Workbook 2 we didn't see before. Chapter number 2. Imagine you are a consultant. Now this we didn't see. Read the question.
Imagine you're a consultant advising a small manufacturing company embarking on a digital transformation journey. The company's leadership is concerned about managing the change effectively. Using the best practices for managing change in small and medium-sized businesses, outline a strategy to help the company navigate this transformation successfully.
What is the answer? Small and medium is given, so automatically you will have to go to MSME. What are the points? That is not the first point. What is the first point? Begin at the top, yes. Ensure the change is necessary and desired. Reduce disruption. Encourage communication and recognize that change is the norm and not an exception. These 5 points you will have to write. Here by mistake I have actually underlined the keyword. If I did not underline, will you be able to tell the answer? Yes, little difficult because you will be thinking, oh, consultant, small manufacturing company, digital transformation. Then you will go to change through digital transformation. You will go there. Yes or no? then company's leadership is concerned about, there is a word called leadership here. Then you'll think, okay, maybe it is strategic leadership. Concerned about managing the change effectively. Then using the best practices for managing change in small and medium sized business. Little difficult to identify that this is what they are asking. Because there are other keywords also to confuse you in the question. Please write there, wherever we wrote MSME in our material, write small and medium sized business so that you will not keep reading it MSME, MSME, MSME. Please write small and medium sized businesses. You wrote already? Now, a beverage company.
A beverage company is launching a new line of energy drinks targeted at health conscious consumers. The strategic manager wants to study the market position of rival companies in the energy drink segment. Which tool can be used for this analysis, and what is the procedure to implement it effectively?
Which tool will you be using? What are they saying? A beverage company, it's starting a new line for health conscious customers. It's an energy drink. Strategic manager is saying, I want to study the market position of rival companies. That only is the keyword. In the energy drink segment, which tool can be used for this analysis? What is the procedure to implement it effectively? You all have to tell me what tool should I use for market position of rival companies. Strategic group mapping is the correct answer. Now, usually you will not think of this answer because market position of rival company means automatically it will not come to your head. Yes or no? So, wherever you have written that steps for strategic group mapping, go next to that and please write market position of rival companies. Please write market position of rival companies so that when you read about strategic group mapping, automatically you will also read market position of rival companies. So then this will be like a keyword next time. I'll tell you, if this question comes out of 100 people, maybe 2 people will identify that this is strategic group mapping. It is a hard question. To study the market position of rival companies in the energy drink segment, the strategic manager can use strategic group mapping. This tool helps identify strategic groups which consist of rival firms with similar competitive approaches and positions in the market. Procedure for implementing strategic group mapping effectively is as follows. Identify the competitive characteristics that differentiate firms in the industry. Typical variables that are price and quality, high, medium, low, geographical coverage, whether it is local, regional, national, international, degree of vertical integration, none, partial integration, full integration, product line breadth, whether it is wide or narrow, use of distribution channels, one channel, some channels, all channels, degree of services offered, no frills, limited and full. Plot the firms on a 2-variable map using pairs of these differentiating characteristics. Assign firms that fall in about the same strategy space to the same strategic group. Draw circles around each strategic group, making the circles proportional to the size of the group's respective share of total industry sales revenue. So the circles are going to be different. Which one is better? In our example, reputation was here. Range of products is here, and this is the total revenue with respect to the industry. The first small one is better or big one is better? Small one is better, even though the range is small, even though the circle is small, the revenue is small, but reputation is extremely high. Like this, I saw one question somewhere in study material or somewhere I saw one question where they gave the strategic group mapping and asked the student to analyze as to which one is better than what. Now this is the steps for strategic group mapping. Next one. ABC
Corp, a multinational consumer electronics company, is planning to expand its operations into a new country. The company's senior management is evaluating the potential risks and opportunities of entering this new market. As part of this their analysis, they decided to use the PESTEL framework to assess the external factors that could impact their decision. How can the PESTEL framework help ABC Corp assess the external factors affecting its decision to expand into a new country?
They're asking about the PESTEL framework. What is PESTEL? Political, economical, socio-cultural, technological, legal and environmental. Now what is this political factors, economic factors, social factors, everything you'll have to know. Please read the text. Political factors, these include stability of the government, government policies on foreign investment, trade agreement, regulatory framework. By analyzing these factors, ABC Corp can assess the political risk associated with entering the new market. Economic factors such as GDP growth rate, inflation rate, exchange rate and economic stability can impact ABC Corp's decision. Social factors, cultural norm, demographic, lifestyle trend can influence consumer behavior and demand for ABC's products. Technological factors, infrastructure, technological advancement, level of technology adoption in the new market. Legal factors, laws and regulations relating to foreign investment, intellectual property rights, labor law. Environmental factors such as climate change, environmental regulations, sustainability practices. Now for this PESTEL framework, there is a dabba in the study material and also in our book. In that dabba, there are multiple things given for each of the PESTLE. Yes, if you remember, when we went through the concept revision, I told you a few important, little confusing ones which you have marked. I'll give you 30 seconds to go through that. Do it now itself. Now here there is only 3 or 4 given for each of the factors. But in that dabba, there are multiple factors for each. Go through that, just 30 seconds. Is there in study material also? It is there in our concept book also. It's very important. MCQ they can ask. If you remember, I told you under environmental few things, under economical few things, which will be a little confusing. Done? Just go through that. Question number 8. Explain the concept of experience curve and highlight its relevance in strategic management. Experience curve, akin to a learning curve, which explains efficiency increase gained by workers through repetitive productive work. It is based on the phenomenon that unit cost decline as firm accumulates experience in time. We learn as we grow concept. Experience curve has the following features. A business organization grow, they gain experience. Experience may provide an advantage over the competition. Experience is a key barrier to entry. Large and successful organization possess stronger experience effect. Whenever they ask experience curve, you please draw the curve. That itself will give you 1.5 marks. As a business grows, it understands the complexity and benefits from its experiences. The concept of experience curve is relevant for a number of areas. For instance, experience curve is considered a barrier for new firms contemplating entry in an industry. It is also used to build market share and discourage the competition. Question number 7. Riya Sharma.
Riya Sharma owns a confectionery business in Jaipur,
Read fast.
specializing in homemade chocolates and candies. Despite holding
Fast.
Riya Sharma owns a confectionery business in Jaipur, specializing in homemade chocolates and candies. Despite holding a substantial market share in central region, her business has experienced declining sales of these products over the last few years. Concerned about the market dynamics, Riya consults a management expert for guidance. The consultant recommends a comprehensive understanding of the competitive landscape. Explain the steps to be followed by Riya Sharma to understand the competitive landscape to address the sales decline.
They are asking about competitive landscape. What are the points under competitive landscape? Identify the competitor. 4 points are there. 5 points are there. Identify the understand the competitor, determine the strengths of the competitor, determine the weakness of the competitor, and put all the information together. Identify the competitor. The first step to understand the competitive landscape is to identify the competitor in the firm's industry and have actual data about their respective market share. Understand the competitors. Once the competitors have been identified, the strategist can use market research report, internet, newspapers, social media, industry report, and various other sources to understand the products and services offered. Determine the strengths of the competitor. What is the strength? What do they do well? Do they offer great products? Do they utilize marketing in a way that comparatively reaches out to more customers? Why do customers give them their business? Determine the weakness of the competitor. Weakness and strength can be identified by going through consumer reports and reviews appearing in various media. Put all the information together. At this stage, a strategist should put together all information about competitors and draw inferences about what they are not offering and what the firms will do to fill in the gaps. These 5 are understanding the competitive landscape. Now Rajiv Arya.
Rajiv Arya owns an electrical appliance company specializing in manufacture of domestic vacuum cleaners. The market is competitive, with 4 other manufacturers offering similar products and achieving comparable sales volume. Additionally, these rival firms hold several patents related to the vacuum cleaner technology. The supplier base for raw materials is extensive. With multiple suppliers available, identify and explain the significant forces of Porter's 5 forces framework that are relevant to Rajiv Arya's company.
He is asking what is the Porter's 5 force framework which is relevant for his company. What is his company? Manufacturer of domestic vacuum cleaner, and market is competitive with 4 other manufacturers having similar product. The competitive rivalry will be of significant force in case of company of Rajiv Arya. As all the rivals are similar in sizes and are manufacturing similar products, it is difficult for any single manufacturers to dominate the market. Large number of patents will make it difficult for new entrants to break into the market. Further, as there are a large number of small suppliers, power that suppliers can exert will also be low. Now read this point. There is no information relating to substitute and bargaining power of customers in the information given. However, a domestic vacuum cleaner will directly compete with other options also, such as housemates, because vacuum cleaner, if there are 4 companies, not only are they competition for each other, but if a housemaid is cheaper, why will anybody go for a vacuum cleaner? So that is the major competition that they are saying. Availability of housemaid at low cost can significantly disturb the sales of the products. Further, as the products are similar, customers can easily shift from one company to another. This will only enhance competitive rivalry is the Porter's 5 force model. Now question number 5.
A company has recently launched a new product in the market. Initially, it faced slow sales growth, limited markets, and high prices. However, over time, the demand for the product expanded rapidly. Prices fell and competition increased. Identify the stages of product life cycle that the company went through.
First of all, what are the stages which is there in the product life cycle? Introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Here over time what happened? The demand expanded, prices fell, and competition increased. So they are asking what stage of the product life cycle. It is definitely not the introduction stage. Maturity stage also it is not there. In the decline stage, demand will not expand rapidly, so it is the growth stage. The company went through the following stages: introduction stage and growth stage. Over time, whatever we saw was the growth stage. This one, the first one, he has already told. Initially, it faced slow sales growth, limited market, and high prices. So that one is introduction stage. Introduction stage, initially the company faced slow sales growth, limited market, and high prices, which are characteristics of introductory stage. During the stage, competition is almost negligible and customers have limited knowledge about the product. Over time, the demand expanded, prices fell, competition increased. These are typical features of the growth stage in the product life cycle. In this stage, the product gains market acceptance and customers become more aware of the benefits and also show the interest. According to Michael Porter, what are the 5 competitor forces that exist within an industry? What are the 5? Threat of new entrants, bargaining power of buyer, bargaining power of supplier, rivalry and threat from substitutes. I hope you know what to write inside also for each of the points. Question number 3. We saw this, sir. No?
Mr. Arun Kumar has built a successful business in the handmade ceramic products industry in Gujarat. His company, Ceramic Crafts, is renowned for crafting distinctive high-quality ceramic home decor items and that have gained strong foothold in the market. However, recent market shifts and rising competition have impacted sales. Seeking professional guidance, Mr. Kumar consults a strategic advisor who recommends as in-depth analysis of the competitive
In-depth
landscape.
analysis of the competitive landscape. To comprehend the competitive landscape, what are the steps should Mr. Kumar follow? What does it identify? The competitor, understand the competitor, determine the strengths, determine the weakness and put all the information together. Some third question or something, the same thing has been repeated, yes? So whenever they ask competitive landscape, please don't go anywhere else, come to these 5 points. Question number 2. This is a new question. Yash is planning to launch
His new tech startup. He is exploring different locations across the country to establish his company in the right business environment. One option is the city of Bengaluru, the Silicon Valley of India, with an engaging network of entrepreneurs, investors, advisors, and mentors. Coupled with various subsides for the new ventures and tax benefits, Bengaluru might be an ideal choice for Yash to establish his company and increase the chances of success. Define the term business environment with respect to the above scenario. Explain the different ways in which the interaction of a business with its environment can be helpful in developing a successful strategy.
What are they asking? Define the term business environment. Business environment is all external factors or any influences or any situations which is going to affect the business decisions, plans and business operations. So first you will have to give the definition. Then what are they asking? Explain different ways in which interaction of business with environment can be helpful for developing a successful strategy. What are the different ways? Determine the opportunities and threats. It gives the direction for growth. Next. Continuous learning, image building and meeting competitions. These 5 benefits of interactions. Determining opportunities and threats. Interaction with the environment helps you identify new consumer needs, emerging trends, potential market opportunity. This insight can guide the development of innovative products and services that meet the market demand. Understanding changes in law, social behavior, competitor action enables him to anticipate and mitigate the threats. Gives direction for growth. By analyzing the external environment, Yash can pinpoint areas for expansion and growth. Recognizing market trends and technological advancement allows him to strategize effectively, ensuring the startup scales successfully. Awareness of the changes around the environment facilitates better planning and strategic decisions. Continuous interaction with the environment motivates him and his team to update their knowledge, understanding and skills. Staying informed and advancement ensures the startup remains competitive. Image building. Understanding and responding to environment needs help the startup build a positive image. For instance, adopting sustainable practices or contributing to local initiative can enhance the reputation. Meeting the competition, interacting with the environment allows Yash to analyze competitors' strategy and adapt accordingly. So all these 5 points are what? Importance of interacting with the business environment. The last question, easy access.
Easy Access is a marketing service company providing consultancy to a range of business clients. Easy Access and its rivals have managed to persuade the government to require all marketing services companies to complete a time-consuming and bureaucratic registration process and to comply with the industry code of conduct. Do you think by doing this, Easy Access and its rivals have an advantage in some ways to fight off competitors? Explain.
What are they saying? Easy access and all the people who are under the same company, they have persuaded the government to require all the marketing services companies to complete a time-consuming and bureaucratic registration process and to comply with industry code of conduct. So if they do that, can any new person come inside? No. Do you think that by doing this, they have an advantage to fight off the competitors? Yes, they definitely have an advantage to fight off the competitors. The new bureaucratic process is making it more complicated to start up and enter the easy access market, increasing barriers to entry and thereby reducing the threat of new entrants. New entrants can reduce an industry's profitability because they add new production capacity, leading to increase in supply of the product, sometimes even at a low price, and can substantially erode existing firms' market share position. However, new entrants are always a powerful source of competition. The new capacity and product range they bring in throws up a new competitive pressure. The bigger the new entrant, the more severe the competitive effect. New entrants also place a limit on prices and affects the profitability, which is known as price wars. You know what, guys? One thing which I want you all to understand is, from whatever questions and answer that we have seen till now, is if you read the question and if you can make sense out of that question, write what you think is the correct answer. You don't try to fit it in which chapter, which sub-chapter, what is the question that they are asking. Do that first. But if you are not able to fit it in anywhere, don't leave the question. Write what makes sense to you. Because here, if you see this answer, it is just a logical answer, which anybody can answer. But usually, what will you try to do with chapter? They're talking about some time consuming. Is there any keyword? Your mind will automatically think like that only. And you'll not be able to find which answer is asking. So because of that, you'll get low in your exam hall. Don't do that. There will be one or two questions like this, where you will have to use your logical sense and put in words to get your answer. So just do that. Don't leave anything. Is that clear? With this, chapter number 2 comes to an end. Now the last one, chapter number 1, easy chapter. Now what and all are there in this chapter? Let's first do the mind mapping with the verb notes. We first saw what is strategy. Then we went to what is management. Then we went to strategic management, importance of strategic management. Then the levels or limitations of strategic management. Levels of strategic management, what is SBU and all, little bit we saw here. Then what is strategic intent, vision, mission, goals, objectives, values. Then why mission, characteristics of objectives, what is this long-term objectives. Then there is one more. That's it. Network of relationship. That's it. Very small chapter. Quickly let's finish off. We actually started our concept revision with this chapter only, where you kept repeating it again and again and again. Yes, sir? We saw this chapter itself for 3 hours the first time when we did the concept revision. 3 hours. Now let's start off with what is management, because that's the order we did also. What is management? Who is the best manager that we know? First, mother. It is a key group in an organization in charge of affairs. It is the chief organ. Integrates disorganized resources of man, money, material and tech. 3MT, if you remember. It is a set of interrelated functions and process of planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. It ranges from control MAD goals. What is MAD? Mobilization of resources, allocation of task and design of organization. Next is strategy. The strategy is always with the external environment. The strategy gives the goals and the means to achieve the goals. It is a game plan for COMA. What is COMA? Compete successfully, conduct its operations, objectives, market position, attract and satisfy customers. Didn't even touch the chapter number 1. Thought it's easy and no one studied. Correct? You studied? Okay. Game plan for COMA. Attract and satisfy the customers. Yes. Next is long range blueprint of 3D. What is 3D? Desired image, direction and destination. This is one chapter which has multiple mnemonics. Conscious and flexible design for DHAM. What is DHAM? That is H. D. D. To direct human efforts is, oh yes, that is only D. Direct human effort. H is handle events and problems. U is utilize the opportunities. M is mobilize the resources. Another M is to meet the competition? To meet the challenges and the threats. Integrated framework for SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. This is not a substitute for responsible management, partly proactive, partly reactive. The current strategy flows from past actions and new decisions. It stitches together the proactive and the reactive strategy. I told you there are 10 points for strategy and just 3 points for what is management. Will they ask direct question, what is strategy? What is management? Till now we did not see any question like that, correct? If they ask, you're lucky. You should be able to write all 10 points. The SM process, it is a managerial process of developing a strategic vision, setting objectives, crafting a strategy, implementing strategy, and evaluating. What is the mnemonic for this? Voices. What is voices? Vision, objective, crafting a strategy, implementing a strategy, evaluating a strategy. S is for strategy. So that is voices. The next is objectives, to get a competitive advantage and guide through changes in the environment. What is the importance? Important, this is, we saw question also. Importance gives the direction. Proactive more than reactive. Framework for all major decision making. Face the future and act as pathfinder. Corporate defense mechanism. Enhance the longevity, core competencies and competitive advantage. The next is levels. There are 3 levels: head office level, division level and functional level. This business functions is called the functional level. The divisions is called the business level. You should not get confused between the business level and the business functions, which is given here. These divisions can also be called as SBU. SBU means what? Company provides several products where duplication of functions can happen. Functions are production, sales, HR, finance, operating, logistics. All of those things are functions. Now there is a relationship between functional and divisional relationship, horizontal relationship and matrix relationship. Horizontal relationship means a flat structure. Matrix relationship means grid-like structure. There is a top-down approach and bottom-up approach. Then going to strategic intent. Intent means the purpose. Why have they formed the company? Vision is the blueprint of the company's future position. Mission is who we are, what we do. What business firm undertakes, it defines the present capabilities, present activities, present customer focus, and what is the role in the society. What is the goal? That is the end result. Objective, it is a time-based measurable target. Objective means it is related to time. Values means ethics, the deep-rooted principles. What is essentials of a strategic vision? The vision has to be creatively done, keeping the company's future position. It is an exercise in intelligent entrepreneurship. It creates enthusiasm among the members, and this gives a direction for the organization in which it is headed. Why do you require a mission? Unanimity of purpose, organizational resources, whether they are allocated properly and used properly. This gives the general tone of the organizational climate. This is the focal point. Facilitate translation of objectives and goals into a proper work structure, and it controls the cost and time. Objectives. What are the characteristics of objectives? What is objective? It is the end result. Organization's relationship with environment, achievement of mission and purpose, standards for performance appraisal, concentrate and specific, related to a time frame, measurable and controllable, challenging, and you are able to correlate. Now this objectives, what is long-term objectives? Profitability, productivity, competitive position, public responsibility, employee development, employee relations, technological leadership. How many points are there? 7 points are there. Are we done with everything? Yes? Very easy chapter. Hardly 7 minutes. Chapter number 1. Fully complete. Correct. Limitations was not there. Etc. square. C square. E is environment is turbulent. T is time. C, it is a costly process. Another C, competitor response. That is limitations of strategic management. Now coming to the questions, just 8 questions. Somebody please read.
Explain in brief the term objectives as a part of strategic intent. Also, outline the characteristics the objectives of a company must possess to be meaningful and to serve the intended role.
Objectives they are asking, brief the term objectives, also outline characteristics of objectives. Did we see it in the verb notes? Yes. Objectives are an organization's performance targets, the end result and outcome it wants to achieve. They function as yardstick for tracking an organization's performance and progress. Objectives with strategic focus relate to outcomes that strengthen an organization's overall business position and competitive vitality. Now, what are these characteristics of objectives? Did we see that? It should define the organization relationship with the environment, facilitates towards achievement of mission and purpose, provide the basis for decision making, provide standards for performance appraisal, should be more concrete and specific, related to a time frame, measurable and controllable, should be challenging, should correlate with each other, set within the constraints of organizational resources and external environment. Direct question. Question number
Ramesh
7.
Sharma has 15 stores selling consumer durables in the Delhi region. 4 of these stores have been opened in the last 3 years. He believes in managing strategically and enjoyed significant roles of sales of refrigerators, televisions, washing machines, air conditioners and light till 4 years back. With shift to the purchases to online stores, the sales of his stores came down to about 70% in the last 4 years. Analyze the position of Ramesh Sharma in light of limitations of strategic management.
Unnecessarily he has given all this information and finally he is asking the question here. Limitations of strategic management, etc. square you know, but let's read the text which is given. You have to write. You can't write simply environment is turbulent, time consuming, costly, like that you can't write. Environment under which strategies is made is highly complex and turbulent. Entry of online stores, a new kind of competitor brought a different dimension to selling consumer durables. Online stores with their size, power could control the market and offer stiff competition to traditional store. Another limitation is that it is difficult to predict how things will shape up in future. Although managing strategically failed to see how online sales will impact the sales. Although strategic management is a time consuming process, he should continue to manage strategically. The challenging times require more effort on his part. Strategic management is costly. Ramesh Sharma may consider engaging experts to find out preferences of the customers and attune his strategies. The stores owned are much smaller. It is very difficult for him to visualize how online stores will be moving strategically. So he knows it is etc. With that he is correlating with the question which is given. Like that you will also have to do whenever they ask limitations of SM. Question number 6. A
A
company's
company's mission statement is typically focused on its present business scope. Explain the significance of a mission statement.
significance of a mission statement, direct question, correct? What is direct mission statement? Why do we require a mission? It gives a unanimity of purpose. It uses allocation of resources and the use of organizational resources, general tone of organizational climate. It gives a focal point, translation of objectives and goals into a proper work structure, and it helps for controlling the cost and time. These 7 points are 6 points. That's it. Now, before that, you will have to write what is mission statement. The company's mission statement is typically focused on its present business scope, who we are and what we do. Mission statement broadly describes an organization's present capability, customer focus, activities, and business makeup. Now you go for why mission statement. It ensures unanimity of purpose. It develops a basis or standard for allocating organizational resources. It provides a basis for innovating the use of organizational resources. We studied it as 1 point. Here he has written it as 2 points. It establishes a general tone or organizational climate to suggest a business-like operation. It serves as a focal point for those who can identify with organization's purpose and direction. It facilitates the translation of objectives and goals into a work structure involving assignment of tasks to responsible elements within the organization. It specifies organizational purposes and the translation of these purposes into goals in such a way that cost, time, and performance parameters can be controlled. The next one.
XYZ Enterprises operates in various sectors, including renewable energy solutions, organic skincare products, eco-friendly packaging, and smart home technologies. The organization is currently in the process of recruiting a chief executive officer. In this scenario, imagine yourself as an HR consultant for XYZ enterprises. Identify the strategic level that encompasses this role within XYZ enterprises. Provide an overview of the key duties and responsibilities falling under the Chief Executive Officer's scope.
He's asking about strategic levels. How many levels are there? 3 levels. Head office level, divisional level, and functional level. Now, where will the CEO be there? Head office level, that is the corporate level only. Now CEO position within XYZ enterprise operates at the corporate level. This executive level is key in leading the overall direction, performance and success. The CEO assumes a central role in shaping the company's strategic vision, overseeing diverse business sectors and ensuring alignment. Key duties and responsibilities of CEO: oversee the development of strategies, defining the mission and goals, determining what business it should be in, allocating the resources among different business, formulating and implementing strategies, providing leadership for the organization, ensuring that corporate and business level which companies are consistent, which maximizing shareholders' wealth, managing the divestment and acquisition process. Please make note of these 8 points. In audit, last attempt, they asked TCWG. Who is TCWG? Similar to that, they have given here question. Key duties and responsibilities of the CEO. 8 points are there. Role of CEO. They might ask. Given the diverse nature of XYZ enterprises, including renewable energy solutions, organic skincare products, eco-friendly packaging, and smart home technology, CEO responsibilities are tailored to navigate the unique challenges and opportunities presented by each of the sectors. Question number 4.
Strategic management helps an organization to work through changes in the environment to gain competitive advantage. In light of statement, discuss its benefits.
Benefits of strategic management. Is it easy? It gives a direction. Proactive more than reactive. Proactive instead of reactive. It gives the direction. Framework for all major decisions. It helps organization to identify available opportunity, identify ways and means. It serves as corporate defense mechanism. Enhance the longevity. It helps the organization develop certain core this one also some third time or something he is asking. Yes, out of the 12 questions itself, second or third time it's coming. Please mark it as important. Question number 3.
Tech Innovators, a rapidly expanding technology company, aims to lead in artificial intelligence and machine learning. With recent growth, the company is evaluating which organizational structure will best support its vision for innovation and leadership in AI technologies. They are considering 3 options: the functional and divisional relationship for specialization, the horizontal relationship for flat, collaborative management, and the matrix relationship for cross-functional teams. Which of these relationships, functional and divisional, horizontal or matrix, will most effectively achieve tech innovators' strategic goals and why?
See, here you spoke about functional divisional. Here in this chapter we spoke about horizontal, but matrix fully in depth we spoke about matrix relationship in chapter number 5. Yes, now they are asking which relationship is the best for this company which is aiming to lead in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Nowadays, what kind of relationship that they are going for? Matrix relationship is the most effective structure for tech innovators to achieve its vision of leadership in AI technologies. This structure promotes cross-functional collaboration, essential for managing complex AI projects and fostering the innovation. By integrating expertise from various departments into temporary task-based teams, matrix relationship supports dynamic project management and aligns well with the company's strategic goals. Now, here they are giving relationship, these 3 are given: benefits, drawbacks and suitability. For functional and divisional, specialization is there, clear management of function and product. Drawback, Potential for department isolation and limited collaboration. Suitability for AI leadership, less effective for cross-functional AI project. If you see horizontal, it is a flat structure. Anybody can tell anything to the other person. Open communication encourages innovation and fast idea sharing. But here the drawback is it is suitable only for startup, small company, hard to scale, unclear roles and unclear responsibility. Suitability for AI leadership, suitable only for startups. It is less for large AI relationships. Matrix, facilitate cross-functional collaboration, flexible resource management for complex project. Here complex reporting structure and potential conflicts are possible. Ideal for managing diverse innovative AI projects. See, AI is the future. Now ICA wants to show off means they'll ask this question. I am also having one question with respect to AI. This is the only question which was asked with regard to AI, correct? Don't know whether it is MTP, RTP, nothing is written here. Something it is there, forgot to mention. Just mark a star for this question, AI question. Define SM, limitations of SM, multiple times limitations of SM, already done. Question number 1, last question. ABC
See,
Pharma.
pharmaceuticals. A leading pharmaceutical company is in the process of formulating its strategic intent. The top management of ABC Pharmaceuticals wants to define the company's future direction, objectives, and goals. The aim is to create a vision that sets the organization apart and provides a roadmap for future growth. ABC Pharmaceuticals aspires to enrich the lives of people by producing high quality pharmaceutical products at competitive prices and wants to become the world's leading pharmaceutical company by 2030. Based on this context, draw a vision and mission statement that could be formulated by the top management of ABC Pharmaceuticals.
They are saying for this pharma company, you have to draw the vision statement and the mission statement. Vision means what? Blueprint of the company's future position. It describes where the organization wants to land. ABC Pharmaceuticals may have vision to be the globally recognized leader in pharmaceutical innovation and enriching life of people worldwide by providing high quality, affordable and accessible pharma products. What is a mission? Mission delineates the firm's business, its goals and ways to reach the goals. It explains the reason for existence. It is designed to help potential shareholders and investors understand the purpose. They may identify mission in the following lines: to improve well-being of individuals and communities, committed to produce safe, effective and sustainable medicines. Through innovation, collaboration and ethical practice, we aim to make a positive impact. Now, this question also similar to what I told you previously for chapter 2, question number 1. What did I tell? If you understand what is a vision, what is a mission, I've told you previously, vision has to be short. Mission can be detailed because mission is where you're talking about what you're currently doing, who we are and what we do. That is a mission statement. So that can be detailed. A vision is supposed to be crisp and short, inspirational, aspirational. That's the words I used. See the vision statement which he has used here. To be the globally recognized leader in pharma innovation and enriching life of the people worldwide by providing high quality, affordable and accessible pharma products. It is inspirational, it is aspirational. Yes, people who are working in the company, once they read this vision statement, they will get charged. Now, mission is what they are doing currently to improve well-being of individuals and community, committed to producing safe, effective, sustainable medicines. Through innovation and collaboration, ethical practice, we aim to make a positive impact. Now, if you understand what is a vision, what is a mission, I told you for Mind and Company also in our concept revision class. If you ask what is a vision, I will just say to become like Uber. Uber for mental health. But mission, it will be a detailed statement. Is that clear? With that, close to 100 questions today actually we have done. In no time, it went super fast. Yes? I also did not expect this speed, to be very honest. You guys were super fast in screaming the answers also. Good that day before yesterday I told you that there is SM workout instead of telling yesterday night. So you had one full day for practice. Now what I want you to do is, now what we did, we corrected ICA suggested answer. We saw the question, we saw the answer and told okay, correct. What I want you to do is select any 3 to 5 questions for each chapter. Easy. You know the questions which is repeating. I told you when we did each of the chapters, at least those questions, 3 to 5 questions for each chapter, more than enough. You will hardly be writing 25 questions for 5 chapters. Write it with your own hand fully. Fully write it, compare it with the suggested answer. Only then you will know where you stand. Is that clear? All right. Thank you so much.